Hello, folks. Welcome to the Nateland podcast today. Nateland is brought to you by Helix Sleep. It's a premium mattress brand that has had mattress based on your unique sleep preferences. The Helix lineup includes 14 unique mattresses. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/Nate with Helix. Better sleep starts now. Also, thank you to Viore for sponsoring Nateland. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at VioreClothing.com/Nate. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75.
Welcome to our new sponsor, Vroom. Vroom.com. You never have to haggle or negotiate the price of a car. When you sell your car on Vroom, you get price instantly and you don't have to waste time in a dealership or deal with a weird buyer. Vroom is entirely online. When you need to buy a car, just grab your phone, go to Vroom.com, and check out thousands of great cars. That's Vroom.com.
Also, shout out to our sponsor, BetterHelp. Easy and affordable online therapy. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/Nate. That's betterhelp.com/Nate for 10% off.
All right.
Yeah, right.
It was a good run I had.
Yeah, you did good.
Yeah.
Hey, Bear, you are out.
Thank you for your service, Dusty.
Welcome. As always, I'm Nate Bargatze, Brian Bates, Aaron Weber, Dusty Slay. We're back, living it up, living the dream. Something, this is it.
Yeah. Where were you this weekend?
I was. I went to Austin, Texas. I had like a private gig there, and then I did Rogan.
Nice.
When I did Rogan's show. Rogan's new hour, very good. I was telling you that earlier. His new hour is great, and it was fun to get to watch that. Him just run it, and because he's about to tape his, I think, he has taping or something. I don't know, but it was very, very good. And then I was in Austin, and then we went to Big Cedar Lodge. Stopped because we drove from Austin to Wisconsin Dells, and so that's like 18 hours.
Wow.
And so we stopped in Big Cedar Lodge, which is in Branson, and I golfed there, and then we went and then drove there.
Is that where we played once before?
Yeah. Play this Ozark. That place is awesome.
Yeah. That was before I started playing golf. So I just sat alone that whole day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Was that with y'all? Was that what you were talking about?
Yeah.
On the drive-in tour?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nick rode around a cart with us. You didn't drive the cart with us?
No.
Yeah.
No, I sat on the bus all day. I think I played 36 that day.
I love how you make sitting alone all day seem so sad. I mean, that's my dream.
I didn't mean to make it sound
That's
quite
my
that
dream.
sad.
No, it was
it's more
sad.
about my regret and wishing I had taken advantage of that opportunity.
No, it was sad.
Okay.
We had fun. You hung out with the ladies back at the clubhouse.
Dang, I love sitting alone all day.
It was. You would like Big Cedar. This place. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
It's big lakes.
Yeah,
A lot
I
of
like that.
boating. We did the rope. Like, you do the rope thing where you go, there's 3 levels and you're tied in and you got to walk across.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did that.
Oh, yeah, I'd be into that.
Yeah. It does not seem high. When you're on the ground, you're like, yeah, it's not going to be bad. And then you get up there, you're like, it is hot.
What's that called? Just like a high ropes course?
Yeah, ropes course or something. Yeah. And it's very high.
Like, are you like doing the tightrope, walking a tightrope?
Yeah.
Like you can fall, but you're
Well,
tied up.
you're tied up
Yeah.
to this thing, but it's pretty crazy. I mean, you just end up higher than you
'Cause
think.
You slip, but you're trusting that they've done a good job.
I trust that these kids know what they're doing.
Yeah, that they weren't just hired that day or about to quit.
Oh yeah.
2 weeks notice.
Yeah.
It's very much like the feel there is like it's kids that are in school and they're just they're about to start back to school and there's always like a girl talking to the guys that's not working there. She's on the
Right.
outside of the fence, and they talk as they tie you up into the thing, and he's just repeating the lines, just whatever.
Monotone.
Going through
Yeah.
the motions.
Going through the motions, and so you definitely do check a little bit. The older you get, you're like, I remember how much I didn't pay
Oh,
attention
yeah.
at that age. I didn't have people's lives in my hands.
I was at Six Flags one time, and you do that spaceship that goes around, and it would usually go around, like it goes up, and then it comes down, and then eventually goes over, and it goes over like 3 times.
Mhm.
I remember the guy seemed mad when we got in the spaceship, and it went over like 6 times.
Oh,
Like, I was like, all right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. You know what I mean?
he got it going.
Yeah, I was like, I'm about done with this.
Yeah.
You're saying he cranked it up just to spite you
I
guys?
think he was just mad and didn't care and was just not paying attention.
I would hope that they wouldn't have like a speed button on it. Like it would just be
Me too.
moment. You're like, this is all it can do.
It should be one setting.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, that'd be crazy if they're like, no, we let the guy fill it out.
Yeah.
Maybe we got some.
If you don't like them.
Maybe it's too light, folks. But we got a little couple bigger folks
Yeah.
up there, so we got to get a little like
Oh, yeah.
swinging it back, and
That's why I don't like a county fair. I feel like a state fair, it's a little better. They got a little more, but a county fair, it's like that guy could have been on a bender. For all I know.
They're
Setting it up.
almost like the government is aware of a state fair,
Right.
So you're like, at least
Yeah.
they're scared that someone's going to show up and check them.
Yeah.
But a county fair, you're like, I don't know if no one knows you
Yeah.
here. The mayor of that town might not know you.
Yeah.
Who
here.
even knows what's going on with that county?
Yeah.
I mean, they're just like, yeah,
But
you can set up some
Wilson
stuff out
County
here.
Fair we go to. Is that a,
I hear a lot about that. Is that good?
It's
oh,
so
yeah,
good
dude.
that they've now combined with the Tennessee State Fair. That's
Yeah.
the same thing now.
Yeah, you know what? I'm saying that I've only go to county fairs.
Yeah. Well, you can go there, but riding the rides is one thing.
Yeah, Wilson County Fair is coming up.
I'm sure
And
the
so we
fairy
go.
dust is okay.
I think we go every year.
What is it? Fairy
Wilson,
floss?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I'm
fairy
sure
floss.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Wilson County Fair is great.
I think it's going on now, isn't it?
Yeah, we might be going. I feel like there's a day we all go, or my family goes. But yeah, we go Wilson County Fairs. I mean, that's what it's about, dude.
Me and Aaron did a fair, and someplace in Washington, about 10 people came to the show, and
Puyallup.
yeah, Puyallup, Washington. Yeah,
Mhm.
about 10 people came.
Where was the show? Was it on like
Huge. I
Oh.
mean, like all the chairs were taken out of the arena. It was just a huge dirt field, and then just endless amounts of stands out there.
wow?
And there's about 10 people out there, maybe 10 on the field. We had a great, and there was just, 100-yard gap in between.
You know what, Dusty? I was in Seattle last weekend, and somebody who was at that show came to see me at the club.
Ooh,
All right.
They said they were one of the people that walked down from the stands and stood right in front of the
Oh,
stage
yeah, our
with you.
true fans.
That's true fans. Yeah.
True fan base.
Do you
got
ever
it in there.
do you ever get invited to golf?
I've been invited before.
But you just don't do it.
No. I actually met Jamie Johnson at the Opry, and I think I don't know if he was going to invite me, but he goes, "You ever golf?" And then I made jokes about golf for about 5 minutes, and then later it was revealed to me that he owns some golf courses. And I was like, I might have missed an opportunity
To get into it.
to hang with Jamie Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it would have, I don't know. I'd like to hang with him, but in a different fashion.
yeah. Frisbee golf.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It'd be better. Yeah, where were we all at?
I was with Leanne Morgan in Davenport, Iowa, and Omaha, Nebraska. Excuse my voice.
Clear it out. Make sure you get it cleared out on air.
I know. Can't get rid of it.
All those
You're
cigars.
smoking
know.
cigars with Leanne.
The runner, the lady picked us up at the hotel, take us to and from the theater, would not let me sit in the back with Leanne. We came out, and she kind of gets out and helps Leanne with her back, and then I'm getting in the back on the other side. She's like, "No, you sit up front." And I'm like, "Oh no, I'm with her. I'm on the show." And then she looked at me and she's like, "No, you just sit up there with me." So she wouldn't let me sit in the back. So I just rode with this old lady up front. I don't think she believed me that I was
Yeah.
like a comedian on the show.
Well, maybe that lady was into you.
no,
like
she was
that.
not into me.
It's
Yeah.
funny, Leanne didn't fight for you at all.
No.
At that moment, she's like, "Yeah, you should shut up."
We were both a little scared
Sit
of her, I
up in the
think.
front. Dang. Sorry.
Why was it like an SUV?
No, it was just the old lady's car.
Yeah.
And she had the windows like down on each side, and Leanne's in the back fixed up. And she said, "Would you mind rolling up the windows so my hair doesn't, go crazy?" And she didn't seem happy about it, but she pushed the button, raised Leanne's side.
Yeah, people that like their windows down, I think like their windows down.
Oh, yeah.
They don't want to be messed. Like I've gotten cars because it's a pretty bold statement to if you're taking someone that you don't really know and your windows are down. That's a very much this is my car, and so you're going to deal with how I usually it's you kind of feel out what's
Mhm.
going on. It's like with the radio too. You get in a car and someone just has the radio up super loud, and you're like, okay, I guess we're just doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just will talk to you, and you're like, I can barely hear you.
Mhm.
It's a pretty bold statement.
Yeah,
Windows
Uber-
down's even bigger
Right.
because it's just that affects. That's
Yeah, especially if
everything's
they
blowing.
keep wanting to talk to you. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, well, let's not add a noise machine in
Yeah.
between here. And they'll talk while sitting straight. And I'm like, it's like a hassle to listen.
I don't. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Windows down is. Yeah, it's funny.
And I think they do it. Uber drivers do it to save on gas
That's why they have the windows down.
because they don't crank up the AC.
Yeah, rather than run the air conditioner.
Yeah.
Never works quite as good as the AC though.
No.
And how much are you really saving?
Not that much.
I don't think you can be saving much.
No.
Maybe aerodynamically, you're even slowing it down. Maybe the wind's getting trapped, slowing it down. a
Probably
bit.
increases the drag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. We do a physics episode. We'll dive into that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can't
you
wait.
believe in aerodynamics?
Yeah.
This conversation.
Let's not get carried away.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make conversation here.
Yeah.
But I was in Columbus, Ohio, Thursday, and then Arlington, Virginia, Friday,
yeah.
Saturday. I had my buddy Chance Willie with me. I was going to get y'all's opinion on this. So we had to share a hotel room in Arlington. And I had never done this before, but we instituted a policy that if you have to use the bathroom, you do it in the lobby downstairs.
Like if you have to blow it up, you mean?
Well, if you have to really get into it,
Yeah.
you go down to the lobby. And that changed everything. I didn't even mind sharing a hotel room with somebody. It was like livable the whole time. Do you know what I mean?
Not
Yeah.
knowing that. I would like that. I would get that.
I'm thinking of doing that just when I'm alone in a hotel. Just having that policy. Just to keep the room nice the whole
Now, I
time.
believe Caleb Elliott, when he was on, he said you guys did something similar.
Well, I think I use that.
Ooh, a
I
little
would
gotcha.
use the
Little
bathroom.
gotcha moment right here.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I'm joking.
Same thing where
It just felt like it's over a dumb thing. He goes, well, that's funny, Aaron, because I think you've said this before, and you do it every time. Go ahead, Aaron.
I think with Caleb, it was like something we figured out throughout the weekend.
Okay.
This was the first time stepping in.
This was before
I mean, we
walked
opened the
in
door. I go, Chance, this is how it's going to work.
Yeah.
Okay, see that bathroom? That's for brushing your teeth, and that's it.
Oh,
You know.
not one or two.
Well, we don't need to get too specific about what happened.
Well,
in
that's
there.
what I mean, I agree with the number 2. Like, don't blow it up in here. But, I mean, if you got to pee, I mean, let's just go for it in the
Well, I think
bathroom.
he's allowing that.
Well,
Yeah, I'll allow it.
He said it's just for brushing your teeth. Like, if you need to shower, you bathe off it.
I think
in
it's
the
just
lobby.
you get
You get a rag and you go down to the lobby.
Aaron starts. Yeah.
There's a fountain outside.
Yeah.
He goes,
it
we will
depends on the
not use the
person."
bathroom at all.
Yeah. Matter of fact, if it locks from the inside, let's go ahead and lock it.
Yeah. I remember one time, I think I was in DC where Laura was with us, and I had a bathroom door that I couldn't get open because it was like when it got wet, it's like the door would get stuck and it locked from inside. And I mean, I about had,
A problem.
yeah, you started going, and it's just immediate. Just like, I mean, I'm going to knock this door down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's about to happen. I think it's good to know that for people that go open for you, that your headlining mode is, you got some rules.
Yeah.
I mean, just to
Yeah.
get started off on the headline part of your career, and you're already like, this is how it's about to be.
Two
Chase.
things.
These are the
You're
Two
not
rules.
going to get
things.
your own hotel.
You're
You're
not
not
gonna
going to get your own room.
We're not going to waste money in your hotel,
Yeah,
and
you'll
you're going to
stay
sleep
with
in the
Nick.
car. You can come up. I'll call you when I would like company, and then I'll tell you when I'm done with company. And I go, I'm done with company now. And that's what you say to them, and that's how they know.
I want to say he probably benefited from this policy more than I did.
Yeah.
I don't think he fought it.
He was
at
all
all.
for it.
You
He was on board with
listen, kid, I'm gonna do you a favor. All right?
Yeah.
I've been in this game for a long time. Yeah.
I know my body. Okay, buddy.
And you don't want to be a part of this. Because when I go, it's quiet. It's usually at night. It's very quiet. You hear everything. You don't even go in the day when there's traffic. You go. It's always 2 a.m. It's the most quiet when you hear just a door shut down, 5 doors, and you just.
And I leave the door open so it doesn't build up.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I don't turn the air on either.
You don't want it building up.
You got to run water. That's when you got to
Turn
run.
the shower on.
Turn the shower on. Hey, I'm gonna shower for about 45 minutes. And just so you're aware, when I come out, you're gonna be like, "Did you shower?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got redressed and dried off all in there."
Someone asked, with your long flight last week from Seattle, where you had to divert and all that,
Yeah.
did you use the airplane bathroom?
I didn't. Not a single time.
What?
Yeah.
And you were on the plane for like a long time.
Yeah, about 7 hours. Yeah.
Didn't
Wow.
pee or anything.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I had to.
Wow.
But
I had to pretty bad. But I thought, I can do this. I can make it.
I'll pee twice on a plane just because.
Just for fun?
Yeah, I mean, I'll sit down. I'll go, well, as soon as we take off, I'm going to go ahead and pee.
Yeah,
Well, I had a window seat. I didn't want to make these people,
this is the whole thing.
It's a whole
Bottle
thing.
it up.
Just bottle it up.
Yeah,
And then
enjoy it. Enjoy it while it lasts. You'll get older, and you're gonna.
I like to wait
That
till they
policy's
break
gonna
out
be
their
out the window.
laptop, hook up headphones, pull down the tray. I go, you mind if I get up here?
Yeah,
as soon as they get all situated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get their coffee. I go, I'm sorry.
But you're-
I'm sorry.
But you're right. I can feel it. I can feel my stamina fading with that
Yeah,
already. So
yeah. It's
I
hard.
am trying to enjoy it while I can.
Yeah. You were somewhere. Oh,
I
you were
was at home.
Yeah.
My mom came up though, and my mom brought a couple of middle school yearbooks. And I don't know if you've looked at a middle school yearbook in a while, but I looked at 2 of them. It brought back memories. It was like time travel for me. And then I had a dream that I went back to school.
Wow.
It's blowing my mind. I went back to school. I was like who I am now. And then I guess the other kids were grown too, but we were still like accepting that. But I was myself now. I felt like I was much cooler. And I don't mean cool like, I don't know, whoever a cool
You're a little
person
more
is.
opinionated in science class.
Yeah, yes. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was just like, hey, how you guys doing? Not like, oh, it's first day. I got to
And
make
that's
an
when we
impression.
landed on the moon.
Right.
I bet
Yeah.
just old Dusty goes in. Young Dusty just let stuff slide.
Yeah.
But Dusty now would be.
Yeah. Young Dusty was just believing it. But now I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
I'm in the office I'm in trouble.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I found in the yearbook where I had wrote down that certain teachers were nice. And then I wrote one lunch lady was nice. I don't remember her, and I don't know what the lunch lady did for me, but I noted that she was nice.
You signed your own yearbook.
Yeah.
You made notes about everybody in your own
I
yearbook?
had quite a few notes in there.
That's what. So, like, did your yearbook sign? He goes, look, I mean, all these people signed it.
Yeah.
It's all just Dusty's handwriting.
I wrote what girls were hot. I wrote one girl needed to brush her teeth.
Wow.
And
Oh.
some girls were okay.
You're kind of a manifesto going.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's. I think this all kind of makes sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming together.
It's coming together. We're
Yeah,
piece by
yeah,
piece.
yeah. It was shocking to me to read, honestly.
Yeah. Check in with that girl with the brushed teeth.
I will check it with her.
Mhm. Okay, how you doing?
I'll look her up on Facebook, just see how it's going,
Mm-hmm.
Check it on the girls that are okay.
Yeah.
That's such a funny review.
Yeah.
She smells. She's hot. She's all right.
But even like, I know we were all kids, but some of the girls I listed as fine, I was like, are we sure about that? You know what I mean? Like, I was like, what was your taste at back then?
Opalika, yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Did you look at them and that's when
Well,
you're like,
I'm looking at them, but I'm also like, well, they're, 12. So it's it's a tough call to make. I was also 12 at the time.
you didn't go look anybody up?
No, my wife was home and my mom was there. I
Yeah,
thought, well,
figured.
let's not go look them up right
Yeah.
now.
Let's just talk about it on a podcast. that you
Yeah.
listen-
And my wife
Uh,
listens to it. She'll listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she saw the yearbook too.
Yeah.
She may be filing divorce papers right now. I don't know.
Yeah. We're going to find out.
Yeah.
Well, we're about to read these comments. Let's see. This one of the comments is her. Josh Oakley. I've listened to every episode of this podcast. I've never heard Dave respond more quickly or confidently about anything than when he confirmed that McDonald's does still, in fact, use plastic straws. It's
Yeah.
true.
You
I
know
did
your
that.
stuff.
I did know that. Well, I don't want misinformation on here.
Yeah. I mean, when you know something, you know something.
When you
Don't
yeah,
be quiet about it.
don't be. I don't want people not going to McDonald's because they don't believe in the product.
Yeah.
Right.
We're doing good things at McDonald's. Jonathan Parker. Yee yee is a country term used to express excitement or happiness, coined by country music artist Granger Smith. Yee yee has since been marketed by the band, selling merchandise such as t-shirts, flags, decals, etc. What else is etc.? That's kind of all of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, what else?
Selling
could there be?
merchandise such as t-shirt,
I mean,
flags,
take
decals.
a look. They've got beef jerky.
Oh,
Oh,
yee jerky.
yee jerky.
Yee jerky.
That doesn't sound like some jerky I want. I'd never heard yee yee until somebody yelled it out at a show.
Yee yee.
Were you going to make some T-shirts?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, yee yee. We had a good time at one show that I did saying yee yee, but I'm done with it. I think.
Yeah, that was a fun time. But
Yeah.
now it's kind of a wrap.
Yeah.
There's also
it's a great Yee Yee's a great name for merchandise.
It is. Hey Bear has its own merchandise.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, there's a website Hey Bear, and it's just hats, shirts, all
Wow.
that stuff.
like just like a company.
I think so. Yeah,
We should have got in on that.
I know.
We missed
Yee
the boat.
yee chewing tobacco. It seemed like that was one of those hats. That seemed like that. Yeah, that second hat there. That seems like a chewing tobacco pouch.
I think it's maybe designed to look like that
Yeah.
logo a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, that's what it seems like you do when you chew tobacco. You spit. Like that's like yee yee to me.
There you go. Yee.
Yeah.
Nathan McCarter, Illinois had to delay large lottery payouts just 5 years ago due to budget reasons, but they eventually resumed. There are no cases of lotteries defaulting, but theoretically it is possible. Even having to delay them is enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. You're like, oh, well, but I was supposed to be getting it. It's like, well, we're having some budget.
Yeah.
That would make me then go, I should have done the buyout.
Yeah.
Even if there's no cases of it, you're just like,
The idea that you buy the ticket and that money piles up from the tickets being purchased, and then that's the pot you win. There should be no issue with the money.
yeah.
Somebody's like, out here spending money
Mhm.
and spending that lottery pot.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Just the disappointment.
Yeah.
Lauren Takazagulu. No. Takgazaglu. Takgozaglu.
That feels made up just to trip you up.
It does. That's why I laughed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go with first name Laura and that last name Tokgozoglu. And just go, we're going to name her Laura. Right.
Or maybe she married into
Oh, she might have. That's got to be an interesting family reunion.
it. The Smiths and the Tuckavalolas.
As someone who has been selling memorabilia and collectibles on eBay for 23 years, I was very excited to see this week's topic. I did some quick research, and those silver spoons under Aaron's couch could be worth tens of thousands of dollars.
It's good to know. That's why we keep them safe under the couch.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody broke in, you'd never think to look there.
Now they would, but
Right.
before...
Good thing you don't have a joke where you give away your parents' home address.
Oh man, I do that. But I lie about a couple
Okay,
details in that because I know about all these spoons, these
Yeah.
valuable spoons.
Would you quit the podcast if you became rich from these spoons?
No.
Or would you just stick
if
around?
you got
I mean-
$10,000 from the spoon, would that be enough to walk away?
If I got $10,000, I'd divorce my wife, I'd leave town, get a new car.
There was
Yeah.
a episode of The Sopranos where one of the guys had a relative die and left him just a fortune, and he could get out, and his wife wanted him to get out, but Tony was like, "No, you're in this business for life." And even though he could just be a multimillionaire living for free,
Mm-hmm.
he couldn't leave the family business.
So this is like the mafia.
It's similar.
Yeah, very similar.
Can't leave. Yeah. Jimmy Crowther. Back in third grade, one of my classmates was Michael Irvin's youngest son. We went on a school field trip, and I won some bouncy balls from Little Machine. His son told me he would trade me 2 autographed cards of his dad if I gave him the bouncy balls, which was a no-brainer. Years later, I was cleaning out my room and found those cards again, only to realize that the signatures on the cards were clearly written by a third grader that just learned cursive. If his son ever makes it big, I guess there'd be worth something, but I think I lost that trade. Isn't his son playing? Michael Irvin's son?
I don't know.
Feels like somebody would buy that card. They're like,
Mm.
listen, this is not signed by Michael Irvin, but it is signed by Michael Irvin's son.
In a fraud
Yeah.
Yeah, even better.
situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would be great if Michael Irvin's son's like, well, I still have those bouncy balls. And you're like, wow, that guy is. When he takes something, he takes something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Michael Irvin Jr. played college football. Michael Irvin II, but it's not like this was another son of his.
Okay. Way to get to the bottom of that.
His youngest son.
I don't have his FBI file. I can't pull up that.
I want
much
to see
information.
everything. Where's these
Elijah.
bouncy balls at? Chris Chowden. When I was younger, I asked my grandma to get me the Superman comic book that came out right after the death of Superman. It was called Funeral for a Friend and had Superman flying towards the sun. I thought it'd be worth something someday and was excited to get a copy. Imagine my disappointment when I opened it up on Christmas and written in black permanent marker across the sun was Chris. Thanks, Grandma.
Wow.
Is that worth something now?
I looked. I don't think it is.
Oh.
There it is.
It's kind of a cool piece of history if you're into comic books. So it's funny to just imagine Chris written.
That was the
Right.
end of Superman?
Like
He-
the grandma
he comes
had
back.
so many comic books that she was just like, well, this one's for Chris. All these others, I have these spoken for.
It's a great spot to sign it.
It is.
This might have been before Post-it notes.
Is the idea that they wanted to be done with Superman and then they just brought him back?
Well, I have maybe a comic book superhero episode coming up that I thought we could talk about. But yeah, I mean, he got so powerful and they just ran out of ideas. So they're like, let's kill him for a while just to drum up excitement. And then they're like, well, we need him back. So then they come up with a reason to bring him back to life.
How did he die? Old age?
No. What-
Kryptonite, dude.
no. This was even in.
That wasn't a dumb guess.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we know that hurts him.
Well, I know Dusty knows
Oh, okay.
because Dusty's into this stuff, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I never liked Superman, to be honest.
You're
with
just a
you.
Marvel guy.
Yeah, Superman, it's like, it's so boring. He's like, I got all the powers.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm wondering how he died.
They Lex Luthor created
Gene Hackman.
Doomsday killed him. It was a creature that was created by Lex Luthor that
Okay.
that was equally powerful, I guess. And,
Oh, wow.
and Superman saved the world, but died in the process.
Oh, okay.
All right.
At least in the movie version.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was a long way to, I feel like, get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Jared Showerman. Can't wait for that Superman episode. Jared,
All right, we won't do that one.
comic books. No, I bet comic books will be fun.
Yeah, that would be.
Anyway,
Jared Showerman. I grew up in the Northwest and was a huge Ken Griffey Jr. fan. I went to a card show in 1990 where he was signing autographs. I recently sent in 2 different autographed rookie cards to PSA for grading, and they came back stating that autographs were of questionable authenticity and they could not be graded. I was there when he signed them. Not sure what this does to the value of these cards, but I still love them for sentimental reasons. It's kind of a fun story. Wow.
It is kind of fun. And they do look kind of, I don't know.
Oh, you think Jared did it?
No, I believe him, but it's not like they're pristine looking.
yeah,
signatures on
imagine
them.
Ken Griffey Jr. just having a rough day.
Yeah.
I mean, and all that matters. It's like if the guy, you got to imagine the signatures are always going to be different. I mean, I think I've signed, or I've had to sign a bunch of stuff, and like sometimes it's just different. You're going to mess up.
Mhm.
It's not like you're just a robot. I'll forget my last name. I'll be like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then some are like, it looks like it's like I'm really drawing it
Some
out.
are just in print.
Yeah, some are just you're like, yeah, we know exactly who it is.
yeah.
And then some are you're just like, I forgot everything. I always have trouble with Nathaniel. I have to autograph Nathaniel.
You do your whole name?
Well, that's for like
Oh, like checks.
Business
and-
ventures.
Yeah.
Actual
Cursive
stuff.
I
altogether
wouldn't do
is
it,
hard
but
for me.
Laura makes me do it. She'll be like, this one's Nathaniel. I'm like, well, why can't I just do the other one? She makes me do Nathaniel, and there's a few. There's an H and an L that comes later that you always
H's are
forget
tough.
about.
Yeah.
The
Well,
L
cursive
comes
is
back
tough
at the end. You're
because
like,
you just get going and you get momentum and it
Yeah.
gets away from you.
Curse. I got Y's in my name. Cursive Y is tough. So my signature is just it's a scribble.
yeah. Well, when they go, what's the name say? And you go, Dusty. They're like, oh, okay.
Exactly.
Makes sense now.
Exactly.
Yeah. Neoma Walker. We are big Braves fans and have several autographed baseballs. One day the dog walker came and couldn't find the dog's ball to play with, so she picked up a baseball to play with the dog. Unfortunately, the ball she picked up off the shelf was an autographed Freddie Freeman ball. As you can see, the ball is messed up and Freddie's autograph is not recognizable. Good night.
Yes.
That is tore up.
It looks like a paper mache ball.
Yeah.
That's like, it's very, I don't know. I guess the dog walker's young, but there is times where you're like, what are you like?
right.
You just, who thinks, well, I don't know where a ball is. I'd want to know what their regular ball is if it's a baseball.
Do you ever
And where
throw a
wa-
baseball with a dog? This is
Uh,
more of a tennis ball situation.
usually a tennis ball, but
And where was the ball? I mean, was the ball in a trophy case and the dog walker thought, you know what? This is probably where they keep the dog's balls
mhm,
in these glass cases.
yeah.
With the name written on it.
Context clues. It's next to a bunch of balls in cases.
I bet they won't
Side.
mind. It's their favorite dog.
I would imagine they think if you're a dog walker and you're gonna go throw balls, you would just say, always ask yourself, have I ever thrown this kind of ball to a dog before? And if your answer is no, then maybe move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times you get caught in a situation where you think, is this is gonna be the first time I'm doing this? Is this the right? Should I be doing it this way?
Mhm.
But I understand how you could also be like, yeah, I think it's because you're scared they're gonna be like, of course you can throw these baseballs.
Yeah, and you look like an idiot asking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, better look like an idiot, though, than like a vandalizer. It almost feels like a Freddie Freeman spy. We got to get rid of these balls.
Mhm. Well, he had a whole thing when he's with the Dodgers now,
Yeah.
and his agent didn't tell him,
Mm-hmm.
and then he doesn't want to be at the Dodgers. It seems.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
It seems like a mess.
Seems like a real big mess.
Yeah.
And he just wants to be there, and yeah,
And it all started with this.
with that baseball.
With that
Maybe
ball.
get him to sign it back. Sign that exact ball. Mike Monaco thought I would share some ancient Roman silver coins that I collect. None is particularly valuable or rare, but this picture shows the faces of each coin, top row, and their reverses, bottom row. These are 4 of the 12 emperors of Rome who ruled between 44 BC and 96 AD. The one on the far left is Emperor Tiberius, who ruled during the time of Jesus. It's extraordinarily unlikely, but there's a vanishingly small chance that this very coin was tossed from the tables of the money changers in the temple by Jesus himself. I'm sure it wasn't, but I like to think it was.
Hey, maybe it was.
Maybe it was.
Yeah, I think it'd be worth something.
Yeah, I'd say you just leave
None
it
of
out.
those are not really worth anything.
I think he said from like $100 to $400,
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good.
but I would have thought they'd been worth a lot more than that.
I guess what can stuff be worth? I mean, it's, in your head, you're like, if it's not worth $1 million, you're like, it's not worth anything.
Yeah, it's only worth really what people will give you for it,
Yeah.
too.
Like if you think you got a collectible thing, I guess if you think it's if it was like thousands of dollars, but when someone's like, it's worth $300, you're kind of like, oh.
I mean, if you put it on eBay and said this was a coin tossed by Jesus from the table, somebody will buy it.
You go, look, I can't prove it wasn't.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
throwing that out there.
Mm-hmm.
This could have been one of the coins Judas used.
Yeah.
To pay him off.
But that would
off,
be, would that not be like our coins now? Being like, this might have been one of the coins in a president's pocket
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
of all our coins.
Yeah.
So the odds of that would be extremely low.
I think we have a lot more coins now than they did then.
Yeah.
Yeah. The odds are extremely low, but it's not zero.
It's
Yeah.
not zero. Okay.
Yeah, there's a non-zero chance.
You could sell a regular quarter and be like, this quarter has been in the hands of every celebrity that's ever lived.
Yeah.
Could have been.
And
have
probably has been in somebody's. I mean, coins get passed around for years all over the country.
Mhm.
Somebody famous has probably had it.
Mm-hmm. But then they might go, well, so my coin might be like that.
Yeah, so why do I need yours?
Yeah, and you go, uh-huh.
That's a good point. It's a
That
good
is a
counterpoint.
good point.
Yeah,
You just hope that they're not smart enough to counter back with that. You know?
yeah,
But wanting a coin like that
yeah.
seems unlikely.
Colin Nordstrom money.
Mm-hmm.
My
Oh.
sophomore year at Ole Miss, 2014. Man, I got into that sentence. It keeps going. Sophomore year at Ole Miss, 2014. We upset number 1 Alabama. Students stormed the field and tore down the goalpost. They then carried them out of the stadium, throughout the streets of Oxford, making their way to the town square and into different homes. A guy I was living with at the time somehow ended up with a long piece of one of the goalposts. Being the guy he was, he cut pieces for all of us, so we all ended up with a piece of history.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. So there you go.
You did something similar with Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I carried one out. We gave it to when Vanderbilt beat South Carolina for the first SEC win. We tried to go tear down the goalpost, and they said Titans are because the Titans were just coming here, and they go, we have Titans game tomorrow, so you can't. And we said okay. There was like one guy. That's how little. That's how dominant, little like of a force we had going to tear down the goalpost. Like one guy was like, "Nah, Titans game tomorrow." And we go, "Yeah, that's understandable," and then we left.
That feels like a real intellectual mob.
Yeah.
We're like, we're gonna get this, and then he goes, I can't. No, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're like,
they
that's
go,
reasonable.
Yeah, he goes, the Titans are playing tomorrow. It's good the Titans are here, so I agree. We're gonna wait. And
Good
then
game though, huh?
the next week we beat Duke. We beat Duke and went and tore them down after we beat
Everybody
Duke.
check the
And
Titans
this
schedule.
was, I mean, honestly, now we might tear them down if we beat Duke.
Yeah.
But back then it was like Duke was awful.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so they beat them down. I tore them down. I had a picture of it, like someone took a real picture, and it was like carrying out a jersey on. And then I remember you carried out. You don't really know where you're going. And then we went to a frat house, and they said just put it in the yard, like they were, like it was like they bought it off eBay.
Yeah.
And then they go just drop it in the yard, and we go all right. We dropped it in the yard, and then I walked back to my car.
Went home.
Yeah, that was it. There's no once you get it down,
Yeah.
there's not I can tell you from experience, if you're tearing a goalpost down, once you get it down, go ahead and start walking in the car.
Yeah.
I don't think there's not much that's going to be happening after that.
Yeah. What really is your plan after
Your
this?
plan after that is you're a mover for somebody. Unless you're the one that's leading it to the house, you are just a mover.
Yeah, and not, I mean, and no offense to Ole Miss, but it's like you have this piece of the goalpost, and you're like, and somebody's like, oh, what's this from? And they're like, oh, yeah, we beat Alabama in 2014. You're like, oh, you won the championship? No. I mean, we beat them just
Yeah.
regular season.
Well, yeah, Alabama's a Goliath.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like,
I mean, I have a piece of turf up there from Vanderbilt. I mean, we had a lot of stuff happen on that turf.
yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of big wins.
a lot of big wins.
What would it take for Notre Dame to tear down goalpost? Have they ever done it?
No, not that I know of.
Because y'all always been good.
And I've stormed the field maybe 3 times when I was there.
Twice by yourself and once with others.
No, with the crowd. It's some
Right.
big wins, man. And no, I was never talked about to take the goalpost down. I don't know. I don't know why we
It's
didn't.
got 4. It's got 2 things. It's hard. Looks like an H. You have an old
Like those old
goalpost.
goalposts. Yeah.
I just picture Notre Dame's goalpost for some reason in my
Yeah.
head.
Just
It's
the
like that H, the old school H.
Yeah, ours is still on the goal line too.
Yeah, and you're like,
Yeah.
just a whole. I was to it quicker than I thought, and then I just was like, I'm not ready for this.
Still on the goal line. That's how you moved it back. They were like, actually, do rip
It
it
is-
up, but just move it back to the.
It's crazy they used to play football with the goalpost
Yes, it
on
is.
the field.
Hmm
You watch old footage, you're like, someone's gonna
Yeah.
die.
But they did it, and
There's a metal pole in the middle
No,
of
I
the
agree.
field. Like it's
But it
crazy.
It is crazy.
I agree, but it's funny that it is. You do always think that you're like, that's like the idea of you're like, well, someone's going to die, and you're like, but no one did.
Yeah,
And then you're like, well, what, they didn't wear helmets, and you're like, and everybody was fine.
they're safer without helmets.
Yeah,
which is the irony.
Yeah,
There's a
now
lot of
people-
stuff like that where you ride, it's like you're wearing. Yeah, but you do. I mean, I do it with Harper. She's going to wear a helmet everywhere, and but you do think you're like, I never wore a helmet. No, I don't even know if you could buy a helmet. And seatbelts, like you don't like all this stuff now, and you're like, we were fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is,
I bet somebody twisted their ankle pretty bad on that goalpost.
No, I bet someone ran into. I mean, I bet people.
Yeah.
It does seem insane.
Mhm.
I agree.
But people are so strong now playing football that they're like, it's getting hit by one of those guys is like worse than running into a goalpost.
Yeah, they're so big now.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I used to like to watch big hits, but now when I see big hits, I'm like, I just feel bad for the guy.
It's
I'm
a
just
lot.
like, dang, man.
Guys are getting they're getting so big and strong that I watched some of the Yankees Red Sox play last night, and you just seen like Aaron Judge up to bat.
Aaron
You're
Judge is
like,
a freak, man.
yeah, you're like, this guy.
6'7".
Yeah,
Looks like a comic book hero.
yeah.
Yeah, he's on pace to break at least Roger Maris's home run record.
Hmm.
Oh, is he?
I think so.
I feel like they should talk about that more. I haven't heard that at all.
It'll start to heat up pretty. I mean, he's almost at 50.
And I don't think he's going to catch Barry Bonds or maybe even McGuire, but technically he should be steroid free, right?
Right.
But he's so big, I feel like you'd still be like, I don't know. This guy's just a giant.
Well, there's going to be a lot of pressure on him because it'll be the first like clean breaking the record. And Tatis, who's one of the biggest stars of the league, he just got caught with steroids like a couple days ago.
They could still catch Aaron.
They could. So that's why
you
it's a
never
lot
know.
of pressure. You know,
Yeah,
you hope he's clean.
yeah. Larry Miller Jr. The photo for Mark Jackson's basketball card was taken with the Mendez brothers sitting courtside in the background. Apparently, the photo was taken after they had already murdered their parents.
Wow.
That's insane.
Menendez, yeah, right.
Menendez.
Just sitting right there. How
How
did
did they get courtside?
From the insurance policy from their dead parents.
Are you serious?
Wow.
I think so. That's why they killed them, to get that big insurance.
To go to this game.
Well,
So they already got the insurance policy?
yeah, I think so. I definitely think the murder had already happened. And
And they've already been paid out.
I can't swear they used that money for those courtside seats.
At least
But I think
they
so.
knew. They were like, we're about to get paid. Let's go ahead and splurge on these
Yeah.
tickets.
That's always fascinating to see a picture like this. To me, it's just how different lives are.
Mhm.
Like in just this little picture, you're like, oh, it's about Mark Jackson. And then you look at everybody and you're like, those two guys they just killed someone.
I don't think anyone noticed this till many years later. I think it was just a few years ago when someone spotted them.
Man,
Was this a high profile case at the time?
I
Yeah.
think so. I don't know much about it. I need to watch. Isn't there a show about it?
Well, it was a documentary or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, I need to watch it because I don't really know anything about it.
I'd say, yeah, if you had just committed a murder, maybe don't go and sit courtside at a game.
I don't think you're in the right. If you're in a murdering mindset, I don't think you're.
You got to cheer yourself up.
Yeah.
Go catch a game
God,
here.
my gosh, their parents just died, Aaron.
Starting to come
Have
to
some
grips with
sympathy.
reality
Yeah, give
here.
them a break.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
What do you want to do? Stay home.
You're
You know?
right. You're right. You got to
You
live life.
You got to get out.
I feel like there was a case a few years ago where a guy was charged with murder or accused, and they spotted him at a Dodgers game. He proved he wasn't there because he was at a Dodgers game. Do you remember this?
Yeah, there's
Is
a
it
documentary
Curb
about
Your
it on
Enthusiasm?
Curb Your
Netflix.
Enthusiasm,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
It was in the show,
Mhm.
and
He's an extra in the show.
Yeah.
Or he's like someone just walking down.
at Dodger Stadium.
Hmm.
Wow. There's a documentary about that on Netflix.
Really?
It's a short one.
Maybe this was their alibi, and they were like, "Oh no, this is a different day," and they were like, "Oh dang."
Yeah. Yeah. He goes, no, we were there. And he goes, that's funny because, yeah, the date of the, all right, you get it. I really checked out on that joke. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that-
I was like looking at it all and I was like, I don't think you really got anything here, bud.
Well, that
It happens, you know.
your NASCAR photo. Maybe there's
Yeah.
somebody in that photo that'll get charged with a crime. And
Well, a couple of guys identified themselves. They have not confessed to a crime, but they did identify
Did they?
themselves. Yeah.
Oh,
I
wow.
posted a pic, yeah, and people were like,
no, we talked about it on this podcast.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. Some people said that's me.
Yeah, you told us that
Oh, yeah.
then. That
yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
I looked them up.
So we'll see if.
Yeah, they could have committed a crime. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I mean, the odds of just where that picture was taken, I'd imagine someone did.
Yeah.
something
Probably a
pretty
lot
good.
of those people. I've committed some crimes since that
Yeah.
photo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
I
think.
mean, not
yeah.
heavy ones, but they're
I think the
law.
police are aware of most of the people in that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're on the list.
Adam Meridian. David Wells bought a game-used Babe Ruth Yankees hat for $35,000. Against Joe Torre's explicit warning, Wells wore it in one inning in a game against Cleveland in 1997 and was fined $2,500 by the team. He paid the fine in $1 bills. In 2012, Wells put the hat in an auction that was featuring other Babe Ruth memorabilia. The hat, now game worn by two Yankee legends, one a Hall of Famer and the other having pitched a perfect game, went on to sell for $537,000. Wow.
Crazy.
That's yeah. It's the story. I don't think more than David Wells wearing that. It's the
Yeah.
fact that it's David Wells and the story and that Joe Torre is like, do not wear that. You know, it's like that's probably what.
Yeah, I read this article. Joe Torre was watching him, and so when he warmed up, he wore his regular hat. He said Joe Torre kept looking at his hat, and he's like, "Oh, see, it's my regular hat." And then right before he went out, he went in the locker room, put on the Babe Ruth hat, which I think there's a picture of it, and told Derek Jeter and I think Jorge Posada, "You guys going out because when you guys run out, they'll play music. Everybody will be distracted, and then I'm going to go out there." And he did. He pitched one inning. There's the hat.
There it is. Looks like it's
Wow.
from a different era.
And Joe Torre
For
looks
sure.
like George Costanza trying to get fired. I mean, it was.
Oh, why did Joe Torre care so much?
I just think he knows it's against our company team policy, and it's almost like
Okay.
your boss is going to get mad at you for allowing one of your players to do something.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah,
So he
that makes
pitched
the
a perfect
story.
game with the hat, or
No,
this is just
that'd
a
have been-
different time?
No, that would have been
That had probably be
unbelievable.
$1 million. He had one perfect game.
He was
And
hungover when he
yeah, he was
pitched it, too.
hungover. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big famous story. All right. Helix Sleep. We love our Helix Sleep mattress. It was unbelievable to unbox. As we've said many times, delivered free. It's so comfortable. You will fall asleep so fast. We have the Dusk Lux medium support. Everyone that slept on it, we've had every comic sleep on that mattress. They've all loved it. So you will love yours too. Take the Helix Sleep quiz and find your perfect mattress in under 2 minutes, and your personalized mattress is shipped straight to your door free of charge. Helix knows there's no better way to test out a new mattress than by sleeping on it in your home. That is why they offer a 100 night risk-free trial. Try it out, and you decide if it's not the best fit, you can turn for a full refund. Everybody's unique, and that's why Helix is so great. You can get anything that fits your body. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/Nate. With Helix, better sleep starts now. Also, Viore. The whole podcast crew loves their Viore. Now that summer's here, I've been wearing the Coors shorts. I wear them. I had them on yesterday, this weekend, all weekend. I have the outdoor trainer shell, their jacket. I wear that thing every day. I mean, it's just a very light jacket, and I always want a jacket. It's very easy to wear. It's very comfortable. I mean, it is my favorite jacket. Viore is a new outlook on performance apparel, perfect if you're sick and tired of traditional old workout gear. Viore can be worn just about any activity like running, training, yoga, but also great for lounging around, weekend errands. It just looks great. Viore is an investment in your happiness. For our listeners, they are offering 20% off your first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at VioreClothing.com/Nate. That is VUORI clothing.com/Nate. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to VioreClothing.com/Nate and discover the versatility of Viore clothing.
Guys, we have a new sponsor, Vroom. You can buy a car entirely online, have it delivered straight to you, so you never have to go to the dealership again. You guys got any bad car stories? Any haggling with
Just
people.
the whole, it's annoying the whole process of
Yeah.
having to go through that.
We bought a
Yeah.
car when I was younger, and the engine blew 3 days after.
Yeah.
But it was like and then it was just after that, it was just even dealing with that and dealing with, those guys on the side of the road, and you're like, you don't know what kind of deal you're getting.
Mhm.
They're ripping you off.
Well, you don't have to deal with all that. You can just do all this online. I used to go through Wheels and Deals.
Yeah.
The
magazine.
literal magazine. Just look through. Oh, there's a guy in Greenville,
looked at that.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
I'd go up there and get it. But instead of now going to a dealership or Carvana or any of those places or Carfax, just buy the car from home and just anywhere you're at. Just all you need is a computer. You can browse thousands of cars in one place. You don't have to spend your weekend driving around to a million different lots, different places like that. Got the baby in the back seat, Dusty. She's
Yes.
crying. Your wife's on your case.
I know all about it.
Just go online and
All
buy
those
your
things.
car. With Vroom.com, you never have to haggle or negotiate on the price of a car. And when you sell your car on Vroom, you get a price instantly, so you don't have to waste time in a dealership with some flaky buyer. Vroom is entirely online, so next time you need to buy a car, just grab your phone, go to Vroom.com, and check out thousands of great cars. That's Vroom.com, Vroom.com.
All right.
And finally, a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. We talk a lot about taking care of our bodies. We are in a culture obsessed with taking care of your bodies, but we need to be taking care of our minds as well. That's why we are proud to work with BetterHelp Online Therapy. I'm sure we all have people in our lives we can talk to about stuff, but some things you don't want to share with your friends and family. We're all talkers. We know the benefits of getting things out, how cathartic that can feel. To vocalize something, BetterHelp is online therapy you can get by video, phone, and even live chat only therapy sessions. So if you don't want to see anyone on camera, you don't have to. It's like a confessional. You can just talk through a little thing.
Absolutely.
It's very nice. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you could be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. And here's the coolest part. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Nate. That's betterhelp.com/Nate. If you've been thinking about therapy, if you hear people talking about therapy, give it a try with BetterHelp.
Awesome. Shout out to Bree. Our friend Bree is about my sister's friend. She's our friend now, but she made 3D printing.
All right.
That's so
I
cool.
finally have something, I think, from 3D.
These are Nateland
Maybe I've had
podcast
those.
coasters that we're all using.
Yeah.
Last week I didn't get a coaster. This week, thanks to Bree, I
Yeah.
have one.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's it's
Also,
a,
could
it's a new
double as
world.
one of those little air hockey pucks.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it
If you
could.
run out of an
It
air
does
hockey
feel like
puck,
that's
yeah.
what it reminded me of, and I
Yeah.
couldn't put my finger on it.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could though.
Nateland air hockey.
I mean, it's just fun. I don't know. Just try. I'm trying to get some stuff out.
I know, I get it,
Trying
man.
to shake it out. I mean, it is funny to say that. I could put my finger on it.
Yeah,
and
and
your
I'm
fingers.
holding it in my hands.
And yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Even sounds the same.
It does
Mhm.
sound the same. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm impressed by anybody that can make anything. I don't know if I've ever made anything.
That
like
you can
this.
make something and give someone, and they can use it in their life.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've drawn a picture. You give it to your mom. And she goes, "Oh, that's great," and puts it on the fridge. But I've never made anything.
How long would you say they lived on the fridge, your drawings?
I think
2
you
or 3
wait.
days?
You wait till a better picture comes from
Yeah.
a more talented kid.
Yeah.
That one goes down. You put the other one up.
Did you?
Y'all had like real artwork though, probably, right?
Yeah.
Y'all probably yours are probably hung up.
Under the couch, even.
Could we go to the Weber Museum and see?
You've got like real paintings
You
on
got
the
real
fridge.
paintings, and they're hanging on the walls.
That's
still
an
to this
original.
day. And it's original. This is all Weber done, and then it's like that where it looks crazy.
My mom, I wish I should get a picture of our Christmas tree every year. My mom just decorates it with childhood artwork
Mm.
that the kids made throughout the year. I
Wow.
mean, it looks so stupid, the Christmas tree. It's just like construction paper things kids made. On the top is an angel that my sister made when she was in like first grade.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
She
disa-
got the.
it's a
She got
disaster.
some prime real estate.
Yeah, she gets the angel at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get put in the back in the corner. Little macaroni necklace. I made.
Aaron bought us this outlet. He bought this, He goes the plug that
Yeah.
it goes in. Aaron
Yeah.
painted it at school.
So that all to say, thank you for these.
Yeah.
This
Very
week.
nice.
So what were this week?
Back on the States.
Back on the States.
People love the States. It's been a
Yeah.
while since we've done one.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
think
nice.
Dusty's done one with us since Alabama.
Only the
Yeah.
Alabama episode.
So this week we're doing Colorado.
All right. What a great state.
That is a good state.
Easiest to draw.
Most sunshine of all states.
Is that right?
More than Florida?
Mm-hmm.
Did they just get the Sunshine State? They got it first, huh?
Yeah,
Florida
I mean, I'm saying this. I've been told by people in Colorado. I don't know if I've ever.
Colorado
Looked
is
it up
such a
professionally.
beautiful state. I've drove all around Colorado. It's
Yeah.
so nice.
Colorado's awesome.
Yeah.
But I think they get the most sunshine.
I
think
read
it's like
that-
over 300 some days.
I read that Denver has more sunny days than San Diego or some other sunny city you would think about. And it was like 300 days out of the year, something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just.
I don't know if it's the sunniest state.
Mile high up there, right up in
Oh.
the sun. Right up in the sun.
Yeah, you're way up there.
Yeah.
You're above the clouds.
Yep.
A lot of people.
Do you
Clouds
know-
are on the streets.
Yeah. It's a foggy place.
a foggy
lot of
city,
sun
yeah.
and
Mhm.
fog all at
It's
the
just
same
the
time.
clouds.
Now you said it's the easiest to draw because it's basically
It's a square.
yeah.
Not a square, but a rectangle.
It's the one of 3 states that they did the borders just by latitude and longitude. There's no like geographical border like Tennessee to the west, the Mississippi River is just they just drew some lines.
Yeah.
They go, that's enough.
and that's enough.
Yeah. Like they had a point to go, that's about right.
Yep.
The first time I drove into Colorado, though, I came in and it just seemed like kind of like bare mountains and some trailers out on there. I was like, oh, okay, this is,
This is your people.
yeah, I'm right at home here.
When I drove cross country, when I moved from New York to LA, Louis Katz rode with me. And Louis he ended up having to leave at Denver. We drove like the top part of the US. You go through Pennsylvania, you go through like and it's not a lot going on. But it was the point of it was to drive through Denver, then kind of come out, through Utah. I thought I went through Man, I didn't go through Wyoming. I thought I did go through Wyoming, but I guess why would I went up there?
Got
I went
lost.
I went Denver to Utah.
Now, did you take I-40 the whole way?
I don't think
Or it's
so.
lower, I
You can
guess.
go through
Yeah.
Wyoming to hit Salt Lake City there. I've done Salt Lake City into Wyoming before.
Yeah. Why did I didn't pay attention, but
It's such a beautiful drive
It
out
is
there.
really.
mhm.
Yeah.
And so I went through that was the whole point of the drive was to go through that.
Yeah.
And I remember going to those mountains. I remember one place I stopped. I was going to stop. It was like you had to cross a mountain, and I was going to stop and stay at a hotel, but it said there was a storm coming in. So it was like, you need to go now, or you're going to possibly not be able to get over there till whenever.
Wow.
And then I went up and over it. And then there was it wasn't like there was a snowstorm where I was. It was just like up there was. So I went back down.
I went to Colorado for the first time in May, and I had heard about elevation sickness when you get there, about how the altitude will mess with you. Altitude sickness, not elevation sickness. I don't know if there's a difference, but it hit me, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Not
You got
right
me.
away, but that night I do not feel good. I had
Bol-
never felt that before.
Boulder was like that for me. I got very lightheaded. I was on stage, very lightheaded. I had 2 shows, and then I told people after the show that I was lightheaded, and they were like, "Oh, you just got to drink water." And I pounded like 4 or 5 waters. Felt great.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's that. So they're serious about the water.
Oh yeah.
You can hit a golf ball a mile, which is nice.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that.
So when you go play in Colorado, you're just smashing balls.
They talk about that with the Rocky Stadium too, as the balls do travel farther there.
Yeah.
And even kicking field goals
Oh, that's interesting.
at Mile High Stadium because the air's lighter.
Yeah.
So, like, how much further could you drive a ball, do you think?
I think you're over 300. I mean,
I mean, how much more than
320.
what you normally would do?
it could be, I guess, 20, 40 yards. Or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Like it depends. I'm
That's substantial.
yeah, as a driver, I'm just so. I can drive it, but I'm just so inconsistent that I never even. But I drive. I think I can. I hope to be in the 250, 270 range when I
Uh-huh.
drive the ball, and so I think you would easily be over 3.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Colorado is called the Centennial State because it became a state exactly 100 years after the United States became a country. It became a state in 1876. Denver is the capital. People there are called Coloradans or Coloradoans.
Coloradoans.
Coloradan seems better.
That seems the way to
Coloradans.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It got its name from the
Take
Colorado.
your time with it. Nice.
Trying to think where to go.
Yeah.
I'm already out of stuff. All right. And in summary, no. It got its name from the Colorado River, which in Spanish, Colorado means colored red. And the Colorado River has a muddy red hue to it.
Does that go down into Texas? Become the Red River?
Ooh, Red River Shootout.
The Colorado River goes down. I was watching 60 Minutes last night, and the Colorado River's gone way down in drought.
man.
So there's all those.
That's the most Bates thing. You're down there. You were watching 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
I love it.
The Colorado River goes through the Grand Canyon. So it's messing with people's water supply because there's a drought. There's like a 20-year drought going on. And
Wow.
so you could see the rocks, and they were different colors from where the water level is so much lower.
Not a lot of Coors Light coming out this year then.
Yeah. It's not as watered down.
Yeah.
It's more.
Hops in
a
there.
little
Yeah.
hoppy. Yeah.
I met the guy, the Coors guy.
The main guy.
Yeah. I was doing a thing in Vegas for the, I don't know, some country music award show. And he was out there. And I don't know why I was still out on stage, but they had me still be out there.
You talking about Sam
for-
Elliott?
No, the like the Coors.
Mr. Coor?
Yeah, like the
The guy that
Coors-
owns it.
Yeah, like the Coors family.
Oh, yeah. I thought yeah.
They
Not like-
probably just assumed you drank it and wanted you to stay out there with them.
Well, I've
You
met
met these people.
quite a few Coors heavies.
Was it Joe Coors Jr.?
I think it was Joe Coors.
One of them was named Adolf Coors,
Yeah,
which
it wasn't
is,
Adolf.
That's
That was-
tough.
That is very tough.
Why would they do that?
I think he might have been older than the other guy.
Yeah. Like, see when that guy.
Yeah,
was.
Adolf Coors died in 1970.
Yeah, so it wasn't him.
So he was before.
Well, when was he born? That's the.
Let's look him up.
Well, I mean, when did?
Oh, Adolf Coors Sr. He's the guy who founded the Coors Company. He was born in 1847.
Okay.
He died in 1929 before Hitler took over Germany.
And he was a German American brewer, so that was a popular name.
It must have been. I think it was like their Joe.
Got to imagine the popularity of that name died off pretty quick, though.
Oh yeah.
Is Adolf? It was like that common. It's like a John, or it's.
Adolf Rupperino.
Oh yeah. Was he German?
I don't know, but that's the only other Adolf I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of him.
Have you heard of Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky? It's where they play basketball. Well, anyway.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's all right, dude.
All right.
It's okay,
It's
Dust.
all right. Don't worry about it.
We'll get you back on track with
All
this.
right, okay.
Colorado was the first state to approve recreational marijuana shops.
Yeah.
They opened their doors January 1st, 2014.
It's been that long.
Yeah. They voted for it in 2012, and then I guess January 1st, 2014 is when it went into effect.
Okay.
Now other states do that too, right?
I've
Oh,
done
yeah, there's a
comedy
bunch
out
of
in some of
states.
those places, and it's not as fun as you think it'd be. You would think that people would be like laughing a lot, but they're really not. They're just staring at you.
Yeah.
A deep stare. You got to really,
You gotta really get them.
you got to really hit them with something spontaneous. For
You gotta
them to-
snap.
Yeah.
Oh,
You got
yeah.
a lot
Yeah,
of.
you gotta
lot of
like, hey, wake up. Hey, You're doing comedy up
Over here, over here.
Yeah.
And then they start laughing at that.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then you
this
slip
guy's-
in a joke.
There you go.
Yeah.
This guy's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Colorado is the only state to ever reject an Olympics.
Wow.
The Olympic Committee approved for 1976 Winter Olympics to be held in Denver, but then they had a vote in 1972 and Colorado voters rejected it.
I like that about Colorado.
Why did they reject it?
They said it would be too costly, create pollution, and increase the state's population, which outweigh the potential boon to the economy. I was watching 60 Minutes, and they talked about how these places. Now, I think it was Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel, but all these cities who have Olympics, they always it's terrible for the city once the Olympics are over because they
Right.
spend billions and billions of dollars building all these huge stadiums for.
But is that even in America, or is that like other? That's like I know in other countries, like they go to some town that's, and those they get demolished. But I mean, Los Angeles is fine. Like
I guess that's true, and I don't know about
Atlanta was fine.
I feel like there were stories about Atlanta at first. I mean, it really hurt their budget because they spent so much money on it. I think they put in a lot of toll roads in Atlanta to pay for stuff, and then once they got it paid off, they just kept those toll roads.
I bet it
okay.
stinks if you live there. It's just like years of dealing with it.
Uh-huh.
Bad traffic.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the worst part of it.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, maybe some of these other countries, but they're always major cities that have them, but they spend so much
And
money.
so it's like when you bid on it, so the city has to pay for that for the Olympics to come.
I think so. I mean, I'm sure the Olympic Committee, I guess, chips in, but I think, yeah, if you bid to host the Olympics, you're willing to either say, we've got the stadiums already, or we'll build them by, because, they approve them like 10 years out.
Yeah.
It just feels good to reject the Olympics,
It
to be
does.
like, nah, we're okay. We got our own sports.
Especially
going
back
here.
then when the Olympics were. I mean, the Olympics are big now, but they weren't like back then.
Right.
hmm
I feel like they've slowly become where like people are like, I
Who
don't know.
cares now? Yeah.
Yeah, they happen. And you're like, you're not watching it like you were. Usain Bolt was big.
Yeah.
Well, now we can watch people on the internet do amazing sports things anytime we want. We don't need to wait. For
Yeah,
the
and from
Olympics.
all over the world. That's
Right.
interesting. Whereas the Olympics might have been your only opportunity to see a foreign athlete
Right.
do anything. I didn't think about that.
Now I flip through it on TikTok and go, I've seen it.
Yeah,
Seen it.
because it's all just tish and like watch this guy run this, and you're
Yeah.
like, okay,
Just the idea of you flipping through being unimpressed by everything is
So often.
Ugh.
Seen it.
Oh,
the
God.
whole Olympics.
Yeah.
You're just putting down off just,
Right.
I've heard this with a song behind it.
Yeah. Exactly.
And ironically, the U.S. Olympic Committee is located in Colorado.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
so
where-
they knew. They had the
So maybe
inside
they give
scoop.
them the heads up. They go, you don't want this.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe so.
I would, yeah, it is interesting to think if these states or these, or like if your city has to pay for, your state has to pay for the Olympics to come. That's a lot on a state.
hmm
You want to go, the country doesn't help out, or
Yeah, I guess I don't know how all the funding comes, but I think the majority comes from that city or state.
Yeah, it feels good when that. Like when I lived in Charleston, James Island rejected a new Walmart coming, and it just felt like it was like, yeah, we shut them down.
yeah.
So the Walmart that was already there had to turn into a super Walmart. They couldn't build a new one. It just felt like such a big move,
That's also a win-win right
Yeah,
there.
Little
Yeah, you get a
island
super
community
Walmart.
was like, nah, you ain't coming here. I loved it.
So they wanted 2 Walmarts.
Well, the Walmart likes to, abandon their old building and then just build a new one.
Oh,
So they were like, nah, you can't do that. And I
Yeah.
was like, that feels like Colorado rejecting the Olympics.
Yeah.
On a smaller scale.
Yeah, much smaller. Do you like to ski?
no. I don't know how to ski.
Okay.
I've done it once and I never made it off like basically this table.
Colorado's the number one state for skiing.
Laura does.
Colorado Ski Hall of Fame is in Vail.
I did the Aspen Comedy Festival, and you can see the mountain outside of my hotel where people are just skiing down. It seems so fun, but I have no interest. I sledded with some dogs pulling me around.
Oh, that's
A lot
fun.
of fun,
Yeah.
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 They
You
did the
did need to
work.
keep that sentence going. Because yeah,
Yeah.
I thought you were just sledding, which is fun.
Yeah.
And then you're like, with the dogs, you're like, oh, that's
yeah.
much.
Yeah.
And
It's a
that's
whole
That's a
different-
whole different.
Yeah. I had to piece it together as it was
Mhm.
coming.
Mm.
Yeah. Before that, I was thinking like a trash can lid.
Yeah. I've
You
done
on the
that.
side of a mountain.
We used to sled with a 4-wheeler. Like when we get when we get snow in Alabama once every 5 years, we would get the 4-wheeler and then we would pull each other on a little any kind of little trash can lid or whatever. A lot of fun.
It's a good
Lot
time.
of fun. Yeah. Homemade sled.
Colorado touches at one point Arizona, New Mexico, and Utah. And so there's a Four Corners monument that you can go to and stand in 4 states at one time.
Yeah.
You done that?
No, I've heard about it.
So
Here it is right here. It's kind of cool looking. This guy's
Yeah, it's
sitting
neat.
in all 4 states. It's
Yeah,
a great scene in Breaking Bad that takes place at that. at
Really?
that spot. Yeah,
I don't remember it.
it's when the wife has kind of figured out what a bad guy her husband is, Skylar, and she goes and she flips a coin and just sees where it lands because she's thinking about where to
I do
go.
remember that.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a cool spot.
Better Call Saul, final episodes tonight.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
come on, fine.
And I was just in Omaha where Saul's at now.
Yeah,
The
that's cool.
Cinnabon. All right.
She didn't want to go too far away. She was like, I got to go to one of the neighboring states, but I'm trying to figure that out here though. Flip a coin.
Well, it's a good place to do a dramatic illustration of
It bounces too far to the right. She goes, Florida.
Yeah.
It says, she's,
Best 2 out of 3.
she goes, I was going to drive somewhere. I don't.
It's the whole thing. Denver's called the Mile High City because it's exactly 1 mile above sea level.
That worked out.
And
Yeah.
in fact, the 13th step of the Colorado State Capitol has a plaque. It's 5,280 feet above sea level. So it's a tourist attraction. People go see this step on the state capitol.
to be exactly 1 mile high.
Yeah.
When did they? I'm just wondering when they were able to find that out. I understand we have the technology to find it out now, but how did you know?
I don't know. I feel like it's been a long time.
Okay, we've known it for a while.
I feel like for hundreds of years, they've had a way to know how tall, like the mountains. Think about the.
You know how high you go up in a mountain.
Yeah,
So, but how do you know where sea level's at if the whole thing's above sea level?
that's what I'm saying.
Where's sea level?
And
Sea
you
levels-
could just make it up, and who can tell you differently?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it a constant slope down? Are we at sea level?
The ocean would be sea level.
So we're a little bit above it.
Yeah. You could be below it, like Death Valley.
Death Valley's below sea level.
That's why it's so hot. Yeah.
Oh, because it's hotter in a basement. There's
We're 102 meters above sea level,
So
which
we're
means
basically
nothing to me.
we're at sea level. We're basically at sea level.
We're almost 600 feet above sea level. I mean, that's substantial, man.
But that's but they're 5,000 feet.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
they're way higher than us, but if you jumped from here to sea level, you'd get hurt on the way down. 600 feet.
you'd
die.
You'd die.
Yeah.
What if you did the toothpick, though? I always wonder that. If you do toothpick, can you just pierce the water and not, like if you jumped into water?
I think you're gonna. It's like concrete.
Yeah, it's like hitting concrete at some point.
but
Just the
if you
surface
maybe.
tension.
really toothpicked it in.
I think.
Greg
look,
Louganis.
Yeah.
I think you for sure should try it. If someone's falling, I would definitely be like, do toothpick.
it. Yeah.
But
They'll
I mean, it
cannonball
could be bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, give it. Or if you want to make sure, it's like then just belly flop it.
Yeah.
And it's a wrap. You don't have to worry about it. Toothpick, you gotta hope it doesn't snap your legs open.
If you belly flop at 600 feet, though, you hope it kills you.
Yeah.
Spread your
Yeah.
Snap your legs open. That's crazy.
It'd be hard to time it
Yeah.
because there's no practice. It would just be
You're right. You can't train for this, really.
yeah, and I think you'd be falling so much quicker that you would just
Got to really think about it.
you got to really before you know it, you're like, oh, I didn't time that.
Yeah.
How far out would you do the toothpick?
I think I would immediately
Yeah.
toothpick.
Yeah. Once you wrap your head around like
Yeah.
I'm gonna land.
You don't have time to kill. You're not like, well,
Mhm.
you got to get right into it.
Let me enjoy this fall for a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
Are you gonna? But you might have to go fly towards water.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want to just jump off a mountain hoping there's water down there.
Oh, you're talking about a mountain. In my head, I'm picturing an airplane.
So
okay.
bye.
We're in
Yeah.
two different things. So
Okay, yeah, you would. Yeah, I guess an airplane would be tough because it's moving. So you're
Let's just imagine it's a helicopter that's hovering above water.
okay.
And it's a calm day at sea, so you don't have to factor in the waves. It's just a.
but
Oh, that
the
would be-
helicopter, you go toothpick quick. But if you like,
I would
I
toothpick
picture
on the
door
helicopter,
opens on
yeah.
airplane, you zoom out. So now you're like out, you're out in the air,
Yep.
and you got to fly towards
I would
water.
feel like you wouldn't want any wind blowing you. You need to go because if like if you're going like this, you're like almost like dragging the tip of the toothpick.
Oh yeah,
Right,
you would not want wind going.
Now you'd want to go straight down.
I think you'd be going pretty quick down. And then, but if you wanted to fly towards water, would you fly? I guess you would like do it the way like they do it in movies. That's your only. That's
Oh,
all.
where like they propel themselves?
Yeah, they like you do like that and like and then start
Kind of
move
lean
your
towards
head,
it.
lean
Yeah.
towards the direction you want to go.
I've read stories about guys that have skydiving and their parachute doesn't. People have survived jumping out of a plane. They land in trees. I mean, they're pretty messed up.
There was a woman who survived a plane crash. She fell from a commercial airplane, but she
Yeah.
was strapped to her seat and she survived. She crashed in
The
the
seatbelt. The seatbelt did it.
It does matter.
Well, the seat. She was the only one to survive, but she crashed in the Amazon rainforest.
Yeah.
And then,
She's the only one wearing the seatbelt.
no, I think it's just the only one that worked out for her.
Did she make it out of the rainforest?
It took her 10 days and she was very, very eaten up and stuff like that. And finally found some missionaries. She's still alive. This was like in the 1970s. And she found some missionaries in rainforest South America. And
She
they
was able to
rescued her.
walk and everything.
Yeah, there's pictures of her when they found her, but she saw like obviously dead bodies that had fallen that were still strapped to the. I think her name's Julie Kepke or something like that.
Damn, my God, did you go to school with her?
Yeah, yes,
Like,
I was- I was just
All
reading
right,
about it.
Good night. He just already. He goes, I think, yeah, she just moved in.
did a 60 minutes.
looked her
piece on
up.
That's her right there, Julie Kepke.
That Johnny Cash?
And she was like, how high up was she? I mean, it was like 22,000 feet or
I
something.
don't know the altitude. She was struck by lightning, and the plane just broke apart midair. So I'll be thinking about that next time I fly, huh?
Well, this is 1971.
Well, there's still lightning.
Well,
You know,
She experienced two
Different
miraculous
lighting.
survivals, it says.
Yeah, well, the rainforest was the other one.
Oh, okay.
10 days through the rainforest.
and then does it show anything else?
Even the animals were like, listen, this lady's been through a lot.
so she went back to this forest at some point.
Well,
take
they've
that
made
picture.
movies and documentaries about her, and
Who took that picture?
I think once they found her, then they went back to the crash scene, and
Oh,
that's a dead body.
Oh my
no, it's
gosh.
not a dead body.
Oh, it's
No.
not?
She survived this photo where she is relatively unscathed. I don't know why she's laying. I mean, let's just move on because I don't know the whole.
So she went back and
does
she's
look
like,
like
well, let me show you what I look like. Take a picture of what I look like when I came out of there.
I set up a camera.
Yeah.
Let me get my arms right.
Yeah. That's how I was laying.
Fortunately, she knew about the Amazon rainforest. That is a big help.
When she was about 14 years old, she spent 18 months living with her parents in a research station that was located not too far from the crash site.
Hmm.
Oh, this is her old stomping
A
ground.
lot of holes in this story.
Yeah, it's starting to get pretty easy now. You know? Oh, I fell on top of my neighborhood and close friends, and then we got home, and
Thankfully, I had a first aid kit with me at the time.
yeah. The
Yeah.
big help was the person that took the picture also undid me, and
Now, is that her walking through a stream?
This is her walking through a stream. Yeah,
She had a lot of technology with her on this.
Yeah, I wonder who took that.
This might be a dramatic reenactment of it.
She stepped on a camouflage snake.
Well, she was
Oh,
using her
really?
shoe to make sure she didn't.
Oh, okay.
oh,
Yeah.
We're just throwing out facts, then we catch up with what it actually
we're
is.
reading about it as right now. Yeah, that's wild. See that one? I mean, where do you want to land? You got to just land sitting in your seat. How's your back not broke? I guess you just
Yeah.
hit trees. I guess your only hope is you hit enough trees and you're faced upward, and then
Yeah.
it's like, shh, and
Yeah,
it
this is a
slows
lot
you
like the
down.
Leonard Skinner crash, really. I mean, they crashed to the trees. Few of them survived.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So the whole band was on the flight?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That feels like something you talked about a lot growing up.
yeah. Yeah. We got to keep it,
Yeah.
keep the memory alive.
Yeah, y'all just were every day. Just couldn't. You had the newspapers from that next day.
Yeah. Our own little 60 minutes.
Yeah, that was your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the tallest point in Tennessee is Klingman's Dome, and I think
Right.
it's about 5,000 or 6,000. I think it's about what Denver is.
Oh, I didn't know we had something that high.
Yeah, it's a little bit higher, 6,643 feet, a little more than a mile high.
Wow.
Klingman's Dome.
Where's that at?
Smoky Mountains.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy to think about a whole city being up that high because it's such an anomaly here.
Mm-hmm.
How tall it is.
And then and you eat pancakes out there. I mean, you ain't gonna go up to Kleeman's Dome and get pancakes, but
No,
you can go
no.
to Denver and get all pancakes you want.
Yeah, or a Denver omelet.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that. You know, they tell you if you fall in an elevator, we may have talked about this before, but if you fall in an elevator, you're supposed to do the opposite of a toothpick. If you're in an elevator that's in a free fall, you're supposed to spread out as much as you can to lessen the force. You want to maximize your surface area.
We always thought you just jump.
Yeah,
last minute.
last second,
Yeah.
jump.
Well, that won't do anything, unfortunately. But it is fun to think about.
How would that not do anything?
Because you're still going to be moving down at the same speed.
But if I go up,
You're going to go up. That's going to lessen your downward speed a little bit, but you're still moving down at a rate
so it
that's
lessens
good.
it though. You just couldn't.
I think that's what Julie did
Yeah.
in the plane.
Yeah,
last
she
minute.
jumped right.
Yeah.
Oh, her seatbelt was a little loose. That's why
Yeah.
she survived. She was
So
able to
saved
jump a
her.
little bit. Yeah. Just next time you're going to fall in an elevator, lay down on the ground. If there's other people on there, tough luck. You
Yeah.
get down to the ground first.
You get down at first. They go,
Spread
"What are you
out.
doing?" And then watch them all jump. And then they go, "The guy on the ground died immediately." You know, everybody else just walked down. Everybody else is like, I still did my errands that day. That's how unhurt I was. And but that one guy that put his face on the part that hits the bottom. I mean, another guy interviews, he goes, "I'll be honest with you, I didn't even time it right and I was fine. I tried to jump, but I was like, obviously you can't tell where the bottom's at." But the guy laying down.
Yeah, he's like, my leg's a little sore.
Yeah, he goes,
I don't even
"It's
remember
not
it."
bad. I mean, why did he lay down? They go, "We'll never know." Just, there's a picture, and then someone takes a picture of you just sprawled out. Get down.
Just an indention.
Get down, everybody. Get down. I mean, just a second. You feel when you're in an elevator, any kind of like boom, boom, do you just go boom? You just immediately go down. What happened? You go, "Sorry. That's what you're supposed to do."
Oh, we were in a free fall here.
He goes, "You never know. I want to be ready."
You got stuck in an elevator recently, didn't you?
Yeah, that's what made me look all this up. I go, what would I really do if this ever happens again?
Mm-hmm. Get down. Spread out and get down.
Do I trust the science and do that, or do I trust my instincts and try to jump?
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll only find out when it happens.
Are there people saying that they've done this and survived?
No, I mean, there's so few elevator accidents that there's not a lot of data to kind of try this stuff out. But
Not one, or a guy was like, I laid down and I was fine.
yeah, maybe. But it does make sense when you think about it. If you try to jump, you're already moving at the same speed. It's not going to do much. You know.
Right.
I mean, probably. I mean, more likely, I guess you just was not able to jump.
It'd be hard to time it out
Yeah.
It would be hard to
because
time
you
it.
don't know now. Because I mean, it would be bad if you do it too early and then you land with the elevator.
Well,
Yeah.
would the lights still work?
Oh yeah, you could watch that. But if it's in
22.
the
4, 3, 2, 1. Ah.
Do it one more time.
Well,
Like
then
the
you jump at
trampoline.
1 and then you don't realize it goes B, P2,
Yeah.
P3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's that bar?
you get a second jump.
Yeah,
in.
you go, "There's a park." He goes, "Jump again."
Let me catch my breath.
He goes, "What's the parking down here? It's like 4 floors." You got to really know the whole elevator system.
Yeah.
Yeah, Denver, they do have, they got a lot of, so depending on, they had a lot of underground. So,
Oh,
Do they?
do they?
Oh, yeah.
the airport.
The airport does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Have a
Yeah,
whole
they're up
city
to-
under there.
they're up to a
Naval
lot
City.
in there.
Yeah.
Well, Colorado just has a ton of stuff that's the highest this, the highest that. The highest paved road in the U.S., 14,000 feet.
You think that's why they
Golly.
legalized weed so fast? Like just to be a part of the whole
High.
highest of everything?
That's true. It's a good point. Could be.
Just to play in it? You don't have any facts on that? Or?
Yeah, they found their niche.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
They were the first to become the highest.
Yeah.
Rocky Mountain High, John Denver.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was his real name Denver?
It was not.
Ooh,
He's from New Mexico too.
Really?
Not even one of Colorado's own.
what
No.
a fraud.
Why did he call himself
He
that?
changed his. And I looked this up last night. He changed his name to
Wow,
John
cute.
Denver because it was his favorite city
Oh.
when he was like 20. And he got a little money, bought a place out there, fell in love with it, and he just ended up living there. But
John, New Mexico is pretty tough.
Yeah. John
That's,
Albuquerque.
John
yeah.
Albuquerque.
My dad and
Please look.
granddad was named Denver.
Is
First
their
name?
first name?
Yeah.
Denver
Oh, really?
Bates.
Yeah.
Oh, Denver,
Wow.
that's it. It
I
is
do
a good
like that
I
name.
do like that as a first name.
Well, John Denver's real last name was Duschendorf.
Okay.
Henry John
Ah.
Duschendorf.
Well, you give it to him then. He
Yeah.
gets to
I
change
mean,
it.
yeah. All right. John Denver, come on, buddy. You're.
I thought he was from like West Virginia because country roads.
Yeah, he sang about a lot of places he's not from, huh?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, apparently country music singers did not like him. Charlie
No.
Rich, when he had to announce him as like best male vocalist or something, burned the sheet of paper where he read his name. He goes, John Denver, and then lights it on fire
On TV?
on TV.
That's
Yeah.
kind of mean.
I saw that on that country
Sorry.
music documentary that Ken Burns
Yeah.
did a couple years ago.
Why do they?
Well, Charlie Rich
You know
was
what? I
pretty
don't know
much-
anything about Ken Burns.
I think he's
Everybody
great.
talks about him.
Charlie Rich was pretty much banned from country music after that, I think.
I don't know anything about Ken Burns per se. I know his
No,
documentaries.
but it's like I always hear that. I think I tried to watch one, and I was like, I can't do this.
It's a big time commitment, but
Yeah.
he makes some great stuff.
Yeah,
Baseball, I watch baseball a lot.
yeah. And it's the baseball documentary.
Yeah.
by Ken Burns.
I wasn't just changing the subject. Yeah, he's got a whole breakdown of takes it decade by decade about the history of
but now it's
baseball.
kind of old, right?
It's awesome. It is
there's
kind
a
of
lot
bold.
missing.
They've done a few updated. They've amended a little bit of it.
And he's still around.
Still, yeah, Ken
Yeah.
Burns still around.
Yeah,
He's got a tough haircut.
yeah. So
That's all I
I
really
think
know
John
about
Denver was considered not real country. He's kind of like pop country, and they didn't like him even back then.
because you would think he's like one of them,
Yeah.
just with the legend. He died in a plane crash too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just think it was that they were like, he was singing about being a country boy, but wasn't really.
he's from New Mexico.
Yeah.
His name, yeah. His favorite place is Denver.
What was it that they said in
Douche
Dumb and Dumber when he goes the wrong way and it's just flat land? Doesn't he say like that John Denver was
Yeah.
full
Yeah.
of something, man, or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that?
That's fun.
Yeah, but no, Ken Burns stuff is great.
Okay.
Tough haircut.
No sideburns. You would think last name Burns, you'd at least rock
Do
a
the
bit of a
sideburns. Yeah. Okay. It's much different than I thought.
This looks like Henry John Duschendorf.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah, that's. But he's got a
And
similar.
Ken
haircut.
Burns should be John Denver.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The song "America the Beautiful" was written by Catherine Lee Bates,
Oh.
inspired by her views from the top of Pikes Peak, which I've been to up there.
Did you write a song when you were up there?
No, I stood on a rock and took a picture, but it's one you can drive all the way to the top. So it looks impressive, but you have to do zero work. Gerald Ford. There's been no presidents from Colorado, but Gerald Ford retired to Colorado after he was president, lived in Vail. In fact, his $13 million.
I'll be at Vail this weekend. I will be there. I'll be at Vail, Colorado Saturday.
At the Gerald Ford Amphitheater.
Oh, I
Gerald
thought you were
Ford
talking about-
Amphitheater.
Whoa.
I thought
Yeah.
you were talking about sending avails. I'll
That's
be
what I-
avail this weekend.
That's
No.
what I thought you said too.
Oh no, I'll be in Vail, Colorado this weekend at the Gerald Ford Amphitheater.
Wow, it's all coming together.
It's all worked out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And his chateau that he lived in is now on the market, $13 million. So while you're there, maybe take a tour.
I'll take a look.
Maybe buy it. Well,
Maybe, yeah. I'll go into it.
Yeah.
Just go.
I went to the Gerald Ford Presidential Library in Grand Rapids. It's not, every president has their library, and his is pretty tough. If I remember correctly, he's the only one that was never actually elected president.
Mm-hmm.
that is
So-
100% the tour you would do. I mean, I love it. The Gerald Ford Presidential Library. It's like, that's another day when I'm sitting alone in the hotel all day. I mean,
Well,
Man,
you should
you
go.
go out.
It was right next to. It's right next to Dr. Grin's down there in downtown Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
I went
go
there
check it
so
out.
many times and never.
You never thought, let's go to the Gerald Ford Museum?
And kind of popular name. Like I feel like if people name presidents, they would never forget him.
Ford.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Gerald Ford is
Really?
yeah. Doesn't Kramer have that thing where he says he's got that Gerald Ford right out of there, or does he say?
I don't know. I would have thought the opposite. That Gerald Ford's one you kind of just
Oh,
forget
I
about.
don't think so. Maybe I know. I thought Gerald Ford. I thought he was.
It's the middle name that doesn't get a lot of respect.
Rudolph.
Yeah, Gerald Rudolph.
Better than Adolf.
Yes.
This weekend in Omaha, we're like, "Who's from here?" And they said Gerald Ford. So I guess the guy just got around
Oh, they claim him too.
Wait,
huh?
you were this weekend? What?
in Omaha.
Yeah.
And we're like, "Who famous is from?" I mean, I mentioned Warren Buffett, who still
Okay.
lives there, and they said, "Yeah, Gerald Ford's from here."
Yeah, he was born in Grand Rapids and died in Grand Rapids.
Oh,
But lived in Colorado for a time. So he
Yeah.
just went
Yeah.
home to
he
die.
must have been
Colorado.
buried. But
Yeah.
I think his post-presidential life, he lived in Colorado.
I could see retiring in Colorado.
Oh,
I
yeah,
always think,
yeah.
like, if I would have started comedy, because Denver had a great comedy scene, or I imagine still has a great comedy
Yeah,
scene.
they do.
And so like I could see you'd be like, go live there. I definitely could see the perks of Colorado.
Mhm.
The tire boot, the tire clamp, was invented in Denver,
Mm.
and it's sometimes called the Denver boot. I've never heard that, but it started there back in 1955, and they made a ton of money from
I
doing
bet
this.
They did.
I bet they did.
That's something to be hated for.
You ever been booted before?
Many times.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Well, I lived in Charleston. I lived in an apartment. I didn't have a parking place. I just had to park my car anywhere on the street. So I would drive home drunk a lot and then forget where I parked my car. And then I'd have to go. It either got towed or booted. I'd have to
Yeah.
call my boss and be like,
The people
"Hey."
usually most upset with the booting are the people that are already doing pretty illegal things.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah,
And
you
then-
don't. Yeah, chances are you don't get booted for doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was always in the wrong,
Yeah.
but come on, just you gotta call a guy and then he's got
It's
to. Yeah,
But would you rather be booted than towed?
I think I would be rather booted than towed.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
towed you got to be like, I don't know where I'm going to go.
It's a real hassle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tow truck companies never friendly.
They're not.
So is there a number on the boot, and you just call it?
Yeah, they'll put stuff on your car to let you know that you've been booted and don't drive away because you'll damage your car. I've been booted so many times.
And they'll fine you because if you try to drive away with them, you'll break it. You'll break that.
Yeah.
And then they can charge you for that too,
Oh yeah.
for destruction of property.
I have a friend who lives in Donaldson, near Donaldson Christian Academy, and he thought it'd be fun to take one of the downtown bird scooters just out there, just to ride around the neighborhood with his buddies, have fun, and then he was going to bring it back downtown, drop it off. And he said he put it in his truck, and just a little bit after he got out of town, it started beeping and flashing, and they've got all these things set up to keep you from stealing it,
Yeah.
and it just locks down.
Yeah, totally. There are areas like within the city too. It'll just stop on you. It'll start beeping
Well, we have a friend that rode one to the airport.
Yeah.
to the Nashville
Wow.
airport.
Yeah.
To the Nashville airport.
From where?
From my place downtown, he was staying with me, and he had zero money, and
Zero money.
he stayed out all night. And the next morning I got up, and I'm like, he wasn't there. I was like, "How'd you get to the airport?" And he's like, "I took a bird scooter. I was drunk, and I just rode it on I-40."
Wow.
Down the interstate.
Man, I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was before all the limits on the.
That
the
was
scooters.
it was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
And
outlaw
so-
days of the scooters.
yeah.
he sent me a picture of it propped up there, drop offs.
That's amazing.
That's someone that got booted a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. for
I mean,
sure.
I love that. I mean, it's a good thing scooters were not around when I was drinking.
Yeah.
I would be damaged.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
There was a dentist on the East Coast who moved to Colorado Springs. This is in 1901 to set up a dentist shop. When he got there, he noticed that everyone had really brown stained teeth, like looked like dark chocolate caked on their teeth. And he was like, "Why does everyone have this brown stains?" But he noticed that tooth decay was not bad at all. Like they had really good, strong teeth, no cavities. And they did some research. It took a long time to fill out. Colorado Springs has so much fluoride in the water that it was preserving their teeth, but it was browning it. And at that time, they didn't know fluoride helped your teeth. So that was the first case of dentists learning that fluoride is good for your teeth. But then they had to just they had so much fluoride, it was browning your teeth. Then they just had to learn how to keep it from coloring your teeth, but also helping your enamel.
Oh, that's where we figured that out.
Yep.
All right.
Dustin?
Yeah. Well, yeah, totally. I mean, that's what I've heard about fluoride. You know?
Is there crazy stuff about fluoride?
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, I mean, a lot of people, have some thoughts about fluoride. I'm not saying I do, but they think that fluoride is not good for you.
Oh,
That
really?
it's bad for your brain.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't know.
yeah.
What do I know? But
Mm-hmm.
I know the dentist used to give me fluoride all the time, and I have had so many cavities. I mean, it is unreal how many cavities I've had.
Like it doesn't protect it.
It didn't help my teeth. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe I was.
I think a little bit it's on us to do some stuff.
Yeah, maybe so. But I mean, my teeth have been brown before too, but not because there was too much fluoride. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, if you go try to buy, can you buy toothpaste without fluoride?
You can, yeah.
I mean, is that the whole point of it? Because I mean, they seem like they advertise fluoride a lot.
I
Yeah.
know they really push it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like deodorant. There are some that are supposedly like that, take out the bad ingredients, but they may not do everything.
Yeah.
The Continental Divide goes straight through Colorado, and I didn't even know what that was. Aaron, tell us what that is.
I don't know what it is.
It's basically where the Rocky Mountains is. So where water flows downstream from Canada on the west side of Colorado, and that's Continental Divide, it all will end up in the Pacific Ocean. On the east side, it all ends up eventually in the Atlantic Ocean.
Wow. No Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, well, the Gulf of Mexico is part of the Atlantic Ocean,
Oh.
although it does look like it just bypasses it there.
Yeah, so that goes right through Colorado.
So that is the Continental Divide, and they just do it because of that water.
They just do what?
They call it that because of the water. The
I
Continental
think
Divide.
so. I think. I mean, to me, it looks like as simple as there's a large mountain range there, so water's either going to flow one way or the other.
Yeah. So you think it's dumb?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A third of the land in Colorado is owned by the federal government.
A third.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
good. That's probably a good thing.
Yeah. Just national parks and stuff.
Well, that's what they tell you, but
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's true. That is-
NORAD's there.
What is that?
That's the North.
Thing that tracks Santa.
Yeah, that is what it is. NORAD stands for North American. What is it?
Radar.
North American Aerospace Defense Command.
Mm-hmm.
And to work there, it's in Colorado Springs. You have to.
Where's the R come in?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a good question. They just couldn't say NOAD.
That what you said there doesn't say to
NORAD.
me.
North American Aerospace Defense Command.
North.
Oh, okay.
North American Aerospace Defense Command.
Oh,
meaning
NOR.
north.
Yeah. And so then they didn't want to do the C.
Mm-hmm.
Because NORAD
NORAD.
is tough to say.
Yeah.
So this thing is buried deep in a mountain for security reasons. So if you work there, you have to take a shuttle bus deep into this mountain. They have all kinds of stuff in there. People leave, but you can't just leave at work to go run errands. So they have a gym, they have a grocery store, they have all these conveniences deep in this mountain. Because once you go in, you're not leaving until it's time to leave.
Yeah.
You don't just quit that job.
Is it?
mid-shift.
Yeah. I wonder if yeah. No.
You
one-
don't just walk out.
There's no windows.
I'm quitting.
Well, you're in the middle of a
Well,
mountain.
you got to wait for the shuttle.
Right. And before 9/11, you could take tours of it, but since 9/11, you can't. They won't let civilians in there to see what's going on. And there's conspiracy theories that they could have stopped 9/11, but chose not to. I don't know if they chose not to or they think they were just inadequate, but
Too far down the mountain, really. They're like, maybe we shouldn't have dug it so deep.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we could kind of pay
No
attention to
good.
what's going on out here.
Yeah. It's hard to see.
Yeah, yeah.
That's true. You go, oh, you're on the mountain, so you're high, so you can see everything. You go, no, we're inside the mountain. You go,
Pretty low.
well, what are you doing?
Right.
I don't mean to tell you your business, sir, but
Yeah, what are you defending here? Yourself?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
what are y'all just hanging out on this mountain, defending the mountain? Are you trying to kill the mountain
right.
from the inside?
Supposedly they can survive a nuclear attack or anything because they're so deep in this mountain.
Oh, good for
Oh,
them. huh?
that's convenient.
Yeah.
So if there's a nuclear attack, go get in a mountain. You don't hear that.
Yeah.
Go get in a mountain.
Go get in a mountain.
Yeah. Cave
Yeah.
Cave seems dangerous.
for a nuclear attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're laying down on an elevator before, so let's see who makes it.
In
What
the
are you
last,
gonna do in an elevator? If there's a nuclear attack, you're in an elevator. Do you lay down and try to do the worm? Is that
because
so
the
you-
vibrations.
Because
Would,
yeah,
yeah,
would
you would
that,
just go with it.
Yeah.
I think that's what I would do. If you told me to lay down an elevator, I would then still do the worm right before, basement. I would still go, and then just try to do just so I'm at least jumping a little bit, so I get a little bit of both.
Yeah. Bring them both in.
Bring them both.
Don't
in.
commit to one theory too
Mhm.
hard.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a good compromise.
In the last Indiana Jones movie, he survived a nuclear explosion by climbing into a refrigerator.
Mm.
If it's handy, that's the way to go. Really.
Is it?
Refrigerator?
I don't know. That's what
Indiana Jones did.
says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said it like you,
Yeah.
Did some research.
Well, I mean, it's they always tell you never to get in the refrigerator.
but that one you would want
But yeah, I think so.
to. Yeah. What are these refrigerators made out of?
Yeah.
He
I
got-
don't know. I mean,
Mhm.
He got blown pretty far, if I remember the movie, and then lands and opens the refrigerator door. and
one
climbs
time
out.
there probably was a chance that I could have been a refrigerator repairman. I mean, I was on that path, I think. But
I deliver refrigerators.
did you?
Mm-hmm.
So you're the resident expert of the group.
That's true.
Yeah. What are they made out of? Just something heavy.
A lot of yeah,
A lot of metal.
not of metal, not nuclear stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe the old refrigerators would have got us through a nuclear attack. The new
Mhm.
ones,
I
probably.
think the other ones might have caused it.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
probably true,
And
too,
then-
yeah. Freon leak.
Yeah.
Or radiation.
Yeah.
The Denver airport's the largest airport in the U.S. by landmass, 33,000 acres. Has the longest runway in the U.S. And some people believe it's home of the New Order and neo-Nazi headquarters, which we've already covered on here.
Yeah.
And Lucifer, the Mustang up front, the guy who built it, it fell on him and killed him. So they think it's haunted.
They did have like some Egyptian god of death statue out at the airport at one point for a little while. It was a temporary thing, but I thought that was like never really a need to have that.
Yeah. Especially temporary.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like-
why bring it?
Yeah,
Right.
permanent would be like, all right, well, they're making a statement. I don't know, something. At least
Yeah.
you're committing to it. Temporary is like, yeah, what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what this does for a little bit.
That is a big area.
That's very big.
Very far from downtown.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fan of that airport. It's just for how big it is. I feel like it should be more fun to walk around, and it doesn't. It feels very closed. Like when you go walk around, like it's dark. It's there's not a ton of light. It's
Mhm.
not
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of fun in there.
For different reasons.
Slow baggage claim.
Oh,
My
okay.
bag, it took so long to come. Like my nephew who had never flown with me and never flown at all, just did a carry-on bag, and I had a checked bag, and I felt so stupid. Like I travel all the time, and then I'm there with my nephew. He's like, "I'm ready to go, man."
The
Where's your
same
bags
one
at?"
you told, come on, we got to go.
Yeah, I had to wait for my bags a long time.
Did you tell them this is how it is?
Yeah. I said, "This is not normally how it is. I don't know what they're doing out here. Maybe they're all on drugs." I
Yeah.
remember making that joke
Yeah.
to him. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
I can tell you one thing's happened. No bathroom in the hotel.
yeah, exactly.
Now that we have some time to talk, might as well go and lay the
Yeah.
land.
Yeah, this is for brushing your teeth only. buddy.
Yeah, yeah.
So the Supermax Prison is in Colorado, where the world's most dangerous criminals are brought, including El Chapo. Chapo. It's called Alcatraz of the Rockies. There's 344 inmates there right now, 23 hour a day, confined to a single cell. And if you guys had the choice, would you want your own single cell or would you want a roommate?
I'd by myself.
I'll by myself too.
I'd be yeah,
I take a roommate.
yeah.
Do I get to screen the roommate at all? Do I get to
No.
interview
You're in
him?
prison,
No.
no.
But-
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
give me
it-
single cell.
It's not a crazy question. This is a hypothetical, I
For
figure
this
I wanna
hypothetical,
change the
no.
stakes.
But you're going to be in
Okay.
there 23 hours a day. So
Prison terrifies me. Give me a room alone all day.
23 hours a day by myself terrifies me. I'd like another human being to bounce some ideas off of, ask some
Yeah,
questions. you
I
know?
don't know.
I
But
don't
you
wanna
can
be
talk
in-
to the guy next to you.
I don't want to be in like the hole, like you see in like solitary confinement type thing, but just give me my own cell.
Yeah, I can clean it. I can.
Get a little
Okay.
mirror like you see in the movies, and we can hold it out and look at each other. But I have some security.
It's. I mean, is that a small prison? 344 like people.
Yeah, I mean,
But that's the best. Isn't the Boston Bombers there?
yeah,
too?
everybody.
Yeah.
One time they one row they called Bombers Row because they had Terry Nichols, Oklahoma City bomber, Ramsey Youssef did the World Trade Centers in '93, Eric Rudolph and Ted Kaczynski, all in
Wow.
the same row. But the Boston Bombers there now.
It's a really good idea to have all the guys that know how to make bombs like right next to each other.
I mean, can you imagine if you're the guard there? Your opinion probably changed about stuff. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, that's some dudes that don't. They're like, let me talk to you why we did this, and you'd be like, yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they've still had murders there. I mean, even though they only get out for 1 hour a day, there was like a Mexican drug lord that got killed. Not El Chapo, obviously, but some Mexican, that they turned their back for a second and they killed him.
Hmm.
That's the cell. See what it looks like. Got a little bit of a TV there.
Oh, that's nice.
Got a
Yeah,
little
a little-
window.
Kind of half of a twin bed.
TV's
It
really
looks
up
like-
high. That's rough on the neck.
It is tough on the neck.
I mean, you get a roommate. You talk about going to the bathroom. I
You
mean,
got your rules, so that's
What
gonna
are
be
you
tough on
gonna
him.
do then?
I mean, listen, a lot of my rules are going to go out the window if I'm
Yeah.
in a prison.
but I mean,
23
and they go out the most extreme out.
hours. Yeah, for sure.
I spent one night in a city jail in Opelika, Alabama, with 3 other roommates, and I wish that I was alone in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there was 2 bunk beds and then a little toilet in between us. One guy I kind of knew in there, and it was I was like, I wish I was alone
yeah.
because
You
I was
talk
like,
to him?
yeah, I had to. He was talking to me, and I was like, I'm ready to get out of here.
But what if the other guy was a friend? Does that change it at all, or would you still rather be alone?
Yeah, if it's your buddy, I guess.
Yeah. If it's the two of you are in prison.
I was about to ask the same question.
Yeah.
And you have to decide for the rest of your life. You have to decide: are you alone, or do you share a prison cell with Bates?
Yeah. It would. I think I'd share it. Like
Aw,
it'd be.
Thank you.
You'd be. I don't think you'd make it long. So.
Yeah. That's true. So you're just
Yeah.
playing the odds.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we talking about? 2-3 months tops?
Yeah. I mean, he's gonna go quick.
It's probably the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
The worry would be, a lot.
It would be, but that would almost calm you down in a way. I bet.
Yeah.
You'd be like, just chill,
Yeah.
dude. We're in prison.
It'd be.
We're in prison.
It'd
Now,
be. Yeah. I'd be talking. The bathroom thing would be very hard though.
It would be hard,
That'd
but
be almost enough to make. Me
I
feel
really
alone.
think you're underestimating the impact of just months and months and years of not just having conversations with people. Like that would really mess with you, I think.
But you would have conversations. It would just be you could always go on your own.
I don't know. Who are you talking to?
the
I don't
cell
know.
next
Me and
to you.
him are gonna be in there talking about Todd Yoder.
Vanderbilt Notre Dame scored a touchdown.
Just like
Remember that one game
Yeah.
back in '97?
yeah.
Corey Chavis. Yeah, it'd get old quick for sure.
Yeah. You'd have to go like, hey, tomorrow, let's just not talk at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're talking about you're never going to get out of there. Right?
Yes.
So it's like you don't need to keep up the social skills.
But it's not, well, that's not the point of having a conversation so that I stay on top of, so that I stay sharp in social situations.
Yeah, that's why you want to do it because
No,
the Webbers can't handle your brain not being used properly, and so you would like to be challenged. You go, hello, I want somebody to wake up and go, Gerald Ford was the best president we've ever had. You go, I beg to differ,
Yeah.
fine young man, and then y'all, as you're eating, you're reading an old newspaper because they don't give you.
yeah. I think you'd want to talk to other people. I think we're social creatures. We want to have relationships with other people.
If you
know?
get an hour a day.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a chance you're gonna get killed in that hour.
Yeah.
So you want to stay sharp.
Okay.
They have to
So that-
stay in the cell for 23 hours,
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
and then they.
Get 1 hour free time. I think they are incentives to, if you have good behavior that
I mean, imagine 1 hour of free time and you use that to kill. You know, it's like, hey,
gotta do
jog a
something.
lap.
Once you had it for a while, you're just like, might as well do it.
Here's the lounge room. This is where you can really make use of that 1 hour.
I feel like they're allowed to go out there. Like the people in the thing can go in and out of the cell. I don't think they're locked in that cell for 23 hours.
I think you'd be surprised.
I think they treat them pretty nice.
It says they're confined 23 hours per day in single cells with facilities.
Well, maybe though. I guess
the worst of the worst.
Yeah, it's the worst of the worst.
But all these guys are, yeah.
I think you'd want to be in that one.
What kind of prison do you think Martha Stewart was in?
Not Hardwood. I think it was. Yeah, I don't know what she did, but
Insider trading.
yeah. And then they got her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. She had to be in like a decent one. Like I think there's some that are like the blue white collar.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could make deals and go, hey, can I still go to work? 9 to 5. People have done that. Yeah, and then after work I'll come back to prison.
Yeah.
What kind of deal is that?
That
sounds like you got to, if you ask a cop if he's a cop, he has to say yes. What that sounds like to me.
Yeah.
Like you would tell someone that, you could go back to work. You just got to spend the night here. I've been here for 25 years, dude. Why didn't you?
You never mentioned that.
You never mentioned that I could just roll on out of here. All right. All right. Is that it?
I was going to mention a little bit Colorado sports.
Okay.
Real fast.
Yeah.
Also, the world's most precise clock is at the University of Colorado. The old record, it would lose a second every 100 million years. But this guy invented one that will lose a second every 15 billion years.
Let's talk about the Denver Broncos' greatest quarterback, Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on from clock.
How does that guy know? That guy just,
How does he know that it's going to do that?
You shot that down quick.
Yeah.
That's a good question. He split $3 million of prize money.
I zoned out. My headphone went into a couple of ears and I lost what was happening.
He won the 2022 Breakthrough Prize in Fundamental Physics. And he split a $3 million prize money for developing this clock.
That he says
won't lose a second for 15 billion years, which is longer than even scientists say the universe has existed.
But how could he not? He could just make the same clock the other guy made and say it beats 15 billion.
And we're not going to know for 15 billion.
We wouldn't even know for a million. Like the other guy was like in 10 million years or whatever it was.
I think it's the science behind it's totally different. So however he came up with it, yes, no one obviously can prove it's going to do that, but the science they used says it should last that long. He did it in a way no one's ever done it. Now, how he did it, I don't know. Something about atoms and vibrating and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But some famous...
And if apocalypse comes, then it's going to be like, who cares what time it is? And he's like, but I'm inventing a clock about it. Yeah, that's cool, man.
Oh, I did want to mention this. This is conspiracy theory. United Airlines Flight 585 was going from Denver to Colorado Springs in 1991. Crash, killed everyone on board, 25 people on board. So the conspiracy theory was that the pilot and the co-pilot, who was a woman, was having an affair. And the pilot told her on the flight he wanted to end it. And she got so upset that she grabbed an axe, killed him, and then crashed the plane into the ground.
Wow.
Bad timing.
That's wild.
All right, I got that backwards. He killed her.
Oh.
And crashed the plane into the ground. Now, they think this rumor, they did research and there was something wrong with the plane, the rudder. They think this conspiracy theory was made up by Boeing themselves.
Because they want you to know?
Boeing was being sued.
Sure, our plane was messed up, but the pilots were having an affair.
Yeah, well, they wouldn't even admit their plane was messed up. They're like, no, there's nothing wrong with our planes. They just crashed it on purpose because all these families were suing. So they think Boeing started this conspiracy theory about this affair. But
yeah, which is insane that that guy's wife and her husband and they now are like, well, did he? Were they having an affair?
You're saying it's insane, but you believe that a company would do something like that?
I would probably now. I would.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have back then, but now I would. Not that I was thinking about it back then. I thought about Boeing quite a bit when I was little.
So all the major sports teams that are in Denver, Broncos have won 8 AFC championships and 3 Super Bowls, and share the record for most Super Bowl losses, 5. Tied with the Patriots. You wouldn't have thought that, but they've been so much that they've lost some. So Tim Tebow's your favorite?
Well, I just remember those days. I was just drinking heavy, sitting in a bar, watching Tim Tebow win a playoff game against the Steelers.
Yeah.
I was
First
like,
play of
this is the
overtime.
best. Yeah.
Tebow mania.
Yeah.
I remember, I was in my head. I always thought Tim Tebow didn't get a fair shot.
I was like, SEC,
I always did think
SEC.
that. I was like at Denver. I was like, well, let him try,
Yeah.
because it was like the whole time. There's something to be said about the whole time people are telling you you're terrible and that you should be getting rid of that. Like that mindset is like, well, he won,
Mm-hmm.
and then he went to that, and you're like, because he's like a winner.
I never liked him as a Florida Gator, but in the pros, I was Tim Tebow.
But he was a winner at Florida. He was a winner his
He
whole
was a
life.
winner.
He was crushing.
Yeah,
It may be
Russell
best
Wilson
college
was like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson, I remember when he played Wisconsin, like when I remember seeing him, I was like, this guy's just like a winner.
Yeah.
Like he's just gonna,
And now he's the Broncos quarterback.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
all right.
yeah, look at that.
Okay.
All
Full
came
circle.
around.
And a University of Colorado player that we now sponsor in the NFL, Nate Landman. He had his first game this past weekend for the Falcons, and he's an unrestricted free agent. So he's just trying to make the team.
Okay.
Undrafted free agent, I should say. And I think he led the defense in total plays, total snaps.
That's what I'm talking about.
So I guess that could be good or bad that they just keep you out there in the fourth
Is he
quarter.
a quarterback? Is that what you're
Nate
saying?
Landman.
No.
Yeah.
He's a linebacker.
Oh, okay. I have
Oh
no-
yeah.
Nate Landman.
Nate Landman.
Yeah, he's gotta
We like him.
make it.
He's got to make it.
What about Bobby Hebert? Remember him?
Yeah. Where was he?
He was a
At-
quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
There's a Seinfeld where George is like Herbert and
Herbert. Yeah.
Hebert.
Yeah.
I think he went by Hebert, but it's
Yes, I do remember that. Yep. There we go. All right.
all right. But I will say the University of Colorado football team won the national championship in 1990. They had 2 things that really went their way. The biggest being the 5th down game.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
The refs forgot to change the marker, and they got another down, and they scored a touchdown to win the game
Wow.
because of it. So that's one of the most famous screw ups in college football.
Man,
Look at
it's
that.
crazy to think that was Missouri back then, dude. In the 90s, when I first watched college football, it was like Missouri was unbelievable. Nebraska was Alabama. Colorado was like top of it.
SMU?
Was
Was that kind of
that's
after
probably Bates could speak to
No,
that.
in my time, SMU got the death penalty.
right?
Yeah.
They were
But
like,
they were good.
But that
leading
was
up to
then
that.
they were leading up. They were like the number
Yeah.
one.
Craig James and all.
Yeah.
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 SMU was before me, but Nebraska, like you don't ever remember
Yeah.
Nebraska being good, like or
I
In the
remember.
mid-90s.
I remember Tim Couch. I remember that kind of era, but not
Tim
in
Couch
the-
was at Kentucky.
Oh, not Tim.
Oh, Eric Crouch?
Eric Crouch. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I
I
remember
mean
that.
Nebraska was unreal.
Back to back national championships.
I remember them playing
I believe-
Miami in the national
and
championship.
you just think you go, well, they're never going to be bad.
Yeah.
And not saying they're I don't think they're definitely not where they were.
No.
But it's at that time you're like, well, I guess just Nebraska will win for the rest of our lives.
Mhm.
And then it's so wild that you're like, oh, now there's not even you don't
Tom
even hear about
Osborne was the guy, and when he left, they just never been the same.
The
Yeah.
black shirts, isn't that what they used to call Nebraska defense? Because they were that
I
good.
don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then Colorado, and then in the Fiesta Bowl, and this is before obviously the BCS, where the pollers just decide who's going to win the national championship as far as who they award it to. But in the the Orange Bowl, with 43 seconds left, they're playing Notre Dame. Rocket Ishmael returned a 92-yard punt that would have won the game for Notre Dame, but then there was a clipping penalty, so they negated
of
it.
course.
Colorado won 10-9 and was, I think, given a share of the national championship.
Yeah, I remember Rocket Ishmael. I loved
He
him.
was electric, dude.
He was one of the first athletes that I really like, kind of star athletes
yeah.
that I remember being like, oh, that guy's crazy.
hmm
And I remember being a big fan of him.
When he touched the ball, it was electric. It was a lot like Golden Tate was kind of the same way when
Mhm.
he was there. When he touched the ball, it was kind of everybody knew something special was going to happen.
And I'd forgotten the Rockies went to the World Series, but they did one year. Got swept by the Red Sox.
When was that?
2007.
That recent?
Yep.
I don't remember that at all.
The Avalanche, I think their first year as a team, they won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, they've been good.
They won it this
Came out
year.
hot.
I mean, we're just, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I guess it's going to stop.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, we're.
But you're going to be in Vail this weekend, Colorado?
Yeah, I'll be in Vail, Colorado at Gerald Ford Amphitheater this weekend. So come out to that. And then everywhere else.
I'm home this weekend, but I got some big shows coming up in Missouri, in Springfield, Missouri. I'm going to be at Corner Pocket Comedy Show at Billiards. It's a
Billiards.
And then I'm going to be at Helium September 15th, and September 16th, 17th, I'm at Helium in St. Louis.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I'm doing the Opry this weekend, but next weekend I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the Looney Bin, headlining the Looney Bin.
All
in Tulsa.
right.
Come on out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be, I guess tonight I'll be at the Iowa State Fair. Yeah, you guys got it. The Iowa State Fair with John Chris. And then I'll be at Wichita, Kansas at Vorshay's Cocktail Lounge. And then I'll be Kansas City, Missouri over the weekend at the Improv. And then Columbia, Missouri at a place called the Blue Note on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Going to be fun. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. As always, we love you. Appreciate it. And we will see you next time. Bye. Nateland is produced by Nateland Productions and by me, Nate Bargatze, and my wife, Laura, on the All Things Comedy Network. Recording and editing for the show is done by Genovations Media. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to catch us next week on the Nateland Podcast.